Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThatUmbrellaGuy. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me, or I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me, or I'm a man.
Stomping the floppy shoes so hard, it'll lead to class delirious. Keep praying to stop so much, it's like you're having a religious experience. Despite all of your denials, I know that you know me and your crew. Ask your girl the last time she phoned me. Allegedly, just admit that even now you sing along. And even after I wreck you, you gotta bump my song. You should copyright loser because the dictionary cloned you. Crushed so hard, now my cleats own you. It's that umbrella guy, clutching the verbal hammer, locking you down in this inescapable syllable slammer. You wanna step up and try to oppose me? Yeah, you should ask anyone that really knows me. I'll take your blame, your girl, your dog, and move in your home, only to get out the verbal flamethrower and consume your plastic gnomes. You trip, you whip, you ride, your bride consumed by this mic hitter, just to drop them on the market to the highest bidder. It's that umbrella guy, live from the hat rack, with elbows that hit so hard you'll think it's a nuclear impact. I mean respecting you, please, that's the word you'll never earn. Yet another lesson you clowns have never learned. Along with standing tall in pride and repping values that you feel, and not fake morals you found inside your happy meal. I listen to you with your speaking style education, wondering if your parents bred with their relations. Wearing your big red nose and still thinking that you're a star, while you're forced to bump that umbrella guy inside your clown car. Yeah, it's that umbrella guy, broadcasting live to the masses. Timing out full, sorry we ran out of free passes. We gotta go further and not just expose you. Listen and believe royalty, we gotta depose you. Getting masked up because this flow is criminal. Dropping hammers so hard, they're subliminal. Unconsciously you want me to own you, as the parasol pope is set to dethrone you. And I'm out.
And I'm muted. That's actually what a way to start a day.
Muted boomer.
Man. Yeah, I'm telling you. Actually, I blame it. I blame Megan.
Well, I'm having microphone problems and headphone problems, and like nothing sounds right. It's because I've been off for a week. The computer's been sitting here off and lonely, and now it's not working properly.
It's rebelling. It's
rebelling.
Yeah, it's like a friend you've neglected. It's like
it's like I'm not talking to you. Exactly. How you doing, chat? How's it going? Some of you have been leaving hysterical messages on my YouTube. Where are you? I miss you.
I know. It felt weird for so long. I mean, like we blitzed and did almost 2 weeks of solid back and forth, and I'm like, this is weird. I was talking to Megan. It's funny too. We were talking about boredom, and anytime you get on a story and you start chasing it, like you start finding things. This story's crazy. There's something almost every day, but you get bored when it's not there. You're like, what's going on? What am I doing?
I was sort of following along as much as I could. I had not only like out of town guests, but my daughter's birthday, and there was a party, and like just tons of like out to eat and just lots of stuff going on. So I couldn't like seriously pay attention. So it's going to be good to like really dig back in and get into it, because I've got like a general overview, but I know I've missed so much.
Oh yeah, the open letter, the response open letters, all the stupid BBB, the ecosystem breakdown. Oh my God. You know, it's
I have an
amazing.
interesting, someone just sent me actually an interesting clip of him complaining about complaining about Dave Neal and scolding MG Law, and like accusing people of, of like he always does, of only doing this for money and blah. It's crazy. It's so nuts. It's unbelievable. In every case I've ever covered, every single one, there have been YouTubers who took the opposing opinion on that case, whether it was the Johnny Depp case or the Gwyneth Paltrow case that I covered, or the Maya Kowalski case, for instance. It's amazing to me that this man is behaving like if you don't agree with his clients, then you are paid off, you're part of a money-making scam, and that's just clear as day. That's the only thing that could be. Listen, folks, I have been covering court cases for a very long time. I have never expressed an opinion about any of these cases that I didn't genuinely feel. And I wouldn't. There's no upside for me in that. For one, I wouldn't be able to make good content, because if I don't believe what I'm saying, you will know it, because my heart will not be in it, and I will lose interest in it. I don't even know what it feels like to make up a storyline and go with it and just pretend like I agree with it because of the audience. That's not how this works. It's not what I've ever done. And the reason why I do what I do and why Tug does what he does is because the mainstream press does that. They pick a narrative and they stick to it no matter what. Yep. And that's what happened in the Johnny Depp trial. They were all hashtag me tooing it, and they were all going for the, women must be believed. And we were like, we don't believe her.
I think that's what's happening with the Beldoni thing, the more I look at it so far. What's interesting, though, is I went back and I was looking at articles from him and, for him talking. I found his 2018 article talking about Me Too. And, of course, he's the same people that boosted it until his life got attacked by it. And it's all like, wow, object lesson confirmed.
Oh, that's quite a lesson.
Yeah, I don't wish this on anybody, but I'm like, you people made this happen. You know what I mean? I mean, you are.
Well, that's the whole reason why LawTube and LawTube adjacent channels even exists, because the media was so outrageously biased and on one side and refusing to report what was real, what was true. They were avoiding the recordings of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard and the recordings of her clearly abusing him, of him clearly running away from her. They were ignoring all of that, that so many people decided, hey, we can cover this better. We can do this better than the mainstream press can. And I have never, in the history of doing my work, of investigating stories, of reporting stories, I always choose stories that are interesting to me and that I believe in. And hey, you know what? Maybe I've been wrong sometimes. Maybe I picked the wrong side, or I got fooled or something by someone. But I have always genuinely believed in what I'm saying, in what I'm reporting to you, in the things that I see, in the evidence that I bring forward. There has never been a time when anyone has ever been able to credibly accuse me of being disingenuous about my opinion.
That's just a desperate attack from Bubbles anyway, because the only thing he can do now is be like, everybody's paid off, oh my God. Meanwhile, he's sitting in the middle of an ecosystem breakdown. You notice, by the way, this was interesting, somebody pointed this out, and I thought that's really true. So of course you've seen the Shara video. I'm noting this here. Yes, you have seen the Shara newest video, right?
Oh yeah. Okay, I have, but I have not watched it as many times as I want to, because it takes several times to digest it.
To drink everything in.
Yeah.
Well, you notice the day that all of that pops up, and again, she dropped it early in the day. Their answers, they had two things they were talking about. You had a mac and cheese interview. That's not about that last screenshot and the devastation there. Totally ignored. And the other thing was damage control, because one of the main donors was asking questions. Nothing about that.
No, yeah, of course not, because they have to avoid what Shar is dropping, because how do they explain that away? And we have two possibilities, right? One is that Lynette is lying and just telling stories about John that are not true and have no basis in fact. And in that case, again, it just proves that she's a liar. And two, the other option is that she's telling the truth, which is horrifying to contemplate. And that just proves that, again, everything that we've said and anything anyone said about there being a danger to the child, yeah, there's a legitimate concern there.
Yeah, good luck suing over that topic. It kept saying they were going to sue. Well, man, you know,
I know.
Guess that just blew up, didn't it?
Yes.
What's really disturbing about that wasn't just what was said. I mean, that's disturbing enough, but there's also the end of it where she says, I'm going to quote her because I don't want to misquote here. She says that let's see, I can't prove it, so I can't turn it in, and I'm not turning it in because I don't want to lose my daughter, but I'll keep her away from them with my life. So she's saying this stuff, but saying, I won't report it because, you know, because
she knows it's bad enough. It's so bad she would lose her. Why would she lose her if it was someone else doing it?
Not just that. Okay, we had a video of him by himself taking her into that Halloween place. You know, I don't remember what that was. Like
a little haunted house.
Yeah.
Thing.
Okay, a little dark place by itself. What now? You know, isolated.
She claims that she's never alone with him.
I mean, that's a bunch of garbage, though. I mean, she's telling, hey, you know, she said some of the worst stuff about him. And again, my thing that I don't understand, and John Cook has never expressed anything on, is why not answer that? I would answer that publicly, very loudly. You know,
but he doesn't. Isn't it strange? He has nothing to say with these horrific allegations that she keeps making about him. Why does he have nothing to say?
Well, they're talking about suing Jeremy Hales for defamation and ruining their lives, right? Both of them have been talking about that, saying everything he says is untrue. Well, why isn't he saying that kind of stuff about her? Because those are life ruinous statements that she is making.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're supposed to what? I can't figure out what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to believe her on one hand. We have to believe her that she's a disabled, poor, elderly mother of a disabled child who's being attacked by a big YouTuber with bullying and cyberbullying and all sorts of things. We have to believe all of that. But we are not supposed to believe the horrific allegations that she has made and continues to make against John Cook. We're supposed to throw that out?
They've made a new movement, though. It's the sort of listen and believe.
Pick and choose what you believe.
Yeah, sort of, kind of, somewhat listen. Maybe, always believe.
Only believe what we tell you to believe.
It's so weird.
It's bizarre.
I was talking yesterday about that ecosystem breakdown, by the way. I'm talking about how if people miss this, I'll just mention this a little bit. So apparently, big donor, David. Again, David, ever want to talk about what happened there and you're concerned, you definitely reach out. Papa Tug's always around, and I'm not going to be an ass about it or anything. I'm just curious, like, what the heck set off your alarm bells? But David has given decent amounts of money, apparently. Now, in that, he apparently had questions. And he had a whole live stream fired up. The entire ecosystem was coming after him. It was pretty nasty. This is a guy who gave his money, which is strange. Now, I've had two add-ons to this story. Number one, there was the comment that she gave the money, or she was given the money via PayPal. If I'm understanding that, if he actually donated via PayPal, guess what, David? If you feel like you have been scammed, you can actually demand your money back through PayPal. You can demand that it be returned, and you can file something about scamming. Now, that would be a real problem for them. because if their account gets hit with potentially scamming, then that's a whole nother world of BS for them. And
oh yeah,
maybe it needs to get looked at. I mean, maybe it does. People are, again, if you're a giant freaking donor with that. And also, there was another thing that happened. And now, again, this is a chat discussion. Okay, so I can't say 100%. I don't know most of these people from, anyone. So what do I, it's just entertainment. But I did notice this, they were talking about him and somebody sent this to me. And this was the comment. They were like, is that the same David that just gave $500 to Milltown?
Oh my God.
Apparently he ripped his money away from the 2 L's and just dropped it on another one to be like, yo, I can do this. Now I would really question why you give it to any of these people. But
yeah, why, if you start to think that it could be a scam, why would you drop any more money to any of them? I don't get that.
Saying. I mean, they're weaponizing instant. This was during that chat. You can see Lynette's there. She's been saying the whole time, call me. I'll actually pull up a couple of screenshots in just a second.
By the way, the fake tears were laughable. I listened to that. I laughed out loud with all the fake tears with the meltdown. I've done everything. I know. I built a fence. Hey, you know what I found out today? Doing a little research. I found out that you can trade in gift cards for cash.
Really?
Did you know that?
I did not know that. I didn't know you could.
You can. And there are all kinds of websites that you can.
Oh, yeah. Websites allow. Actually, some stores, I don't know, like with them, but some stores will actually allow returns of gift cards, if they're.
I don't know if they allow it at Lowe's, but I know you can take gift cards from Lowe's and you can trade them in for cash. And you know what's amazing about that is that I knew there was something about that Lowe's gift card thing that I'm like, I'm not comfortable with that. I don't like that at all. And then I find out you can trade them in for cash. And that makes all the sense in the world. And you can sell them online. That's right. Thank you, Marcy. That's correct. By the way, just as a little teaser for you folks, I am back officially. I'm officially back. I'm back on the story. And I have been
Lowe's
working.
Does not. They do not. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off on
that not one. Not in the store, but you can sell
the store
them.
itself, you can sell it. And you can, you're losing a small amount of money off of it. But hey, when it's given to you for free, you're not losing anything, right?
Exactly. So what I was going to tell you is that since I'm back and I have been doing research since I've been off, I haven't been completely absent from this. We are going to tomorrow night on my channel. We're going to do an hour on YouTube, and then we are going exclusively to Rumble. I have so much new stuff to drop for you. I have so much new stuff. We're going to go over the scam. We're going to go over what the scam, how to notice a scam, how to see a scam coming, what a fundraising scam on YouTube looks like. And these are from sources like in our federal government, right? Who tell you what to look for. I, in fact, found the exact scam in Port St. Lucie in Florida that the husband of one of the fleas, Gabe, that guy named Gabe, I found the exact scam people being warned about it in the town he did it in on the news. I have video. I have so much about how to spot scammers. And boy, when you line up what they are doing over on that channel, what they've done and who they are and what their records are and what their past is, wait till you see how many evictions are on the main flea's record. Wait till you see. When I first heard about it, I didn't really want to look into it. I was like, eviction here, eviction there. They're like maybe 2 of them. No big deal. Oh, no. This is a serial fraudster who defrauds landlords for years and years. Let me just quickly, count on my little notepad here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So far, 8 evictions from around 2003 and on. 8. Count, guys. You don't get 8 evictions. Do you know how hard it is to go through an eviction process, first of all? You have to really screw up, okay? This is a professional squatter. Yes, thank you. This is someone who does this for a living. This is a scammer who scams and has done it for years and years and years. And her husband is the same. And now they're running an online fundraiser that sure looks like a scam. And you know why? Well, I'm going to tell you all about it tomorrow night. So you're going to have to tune in.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be. It's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. Tracy Spencer, if you've investigated fraud for 30 years, you need to email me because I've got some stuff to send you and maybe you want to investigate this one.
It just, this whole thing is crashing. Like we talked about at the very beginning, one of the main issues, it would be either for the people giving money or receiving if they were doing it in good faith. Again, we had no idea, but there was no transparency whatsoever. And we were telling people, where's your money going? Again, we're not just talking about money going into YouTube. We're talking about money going through PayPal, Venmo, who knows? Like all these other different places. Who knows how much money's coming in? And what is the goal? Like the goal is more.
Tomorrow you're going to hear from her own mouth saying she's the only one who knows how much came in, and that's the way it's going to stay. Into her account. It is so crazy. I can't even believe that YouTube is allowing it to go on. They're probably only allowing it because they don't know it's happening. I have so much to share with you tomorrow also about YouTube fundraising scams. We're going to go over some famous YouTube fundraising scams that have happened. And boy, do they look a lot like this.
I was amazed. Like just watching these people turn on, whether it's let's see, whether it's just random people out there, don't give the bastard his money back. He's a nobody.
Oh my God. Didn't she say that she would be totally transparent with anyone who donated?
Yeah.
Isn't it strange that as soon as someone who donated wants transparency, suddenly she's crying and refusing to talk to him? He wanted to do a live with her. Boy, would I have loved to have heard that. He wanted to do a live stream with her where she said she wasn't home, so she couldn't do it. But she was online like 2 hours later. So why didn't she just have him call in then?
Well, what got really interesting is the Guapo thing, because Guapo is asked point blank here. Actually,
do we have that clip? I want to see it. I haven't seen it.
I have not pulled the clip. That would be one for tomorrow.
All right, we'll play it. If somebody has it, send it to me because I'll play it on Rumble.
There's actually a transcript of it too. The transcript thing has been put up. Let me see if I can.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, give me 1 minute.
Yeah, the ecosystem is crumbling. All you have to do now, folks, is grab the popcorn, sit back, kick your feet up, get your cozy blankie on, and just watch the show. Because this is exactly what we said was going to happen, that they were absolutely going to turn on one another at some point, because these types always do. These are serial. This is unbelievable. Her husband, by the way, I don't know if some of you know this, but I finally dug into that deeply. This is a guy who ripped off her elderly hurricane victims. And for her to sit up there and say that it was civil is such a lie. You do not get put in jail for a civil infraction. They do not call a civil complaint grand theft. He is still on felony probation from recently. It just happened this summer that he's put on federal probation. Oh no, there's no trial. There's no trial, James. He pled. He pled no contest. It's over. He's on a 3-year federal probation. And don't you worry about it. I am going to call the prosecutor and have a little conversation with the prosecutor's office, because there's a whole lot of misinformation being put out there all over the internet about this. Oh, this is a civil matter. Bullshit.
So this is a thing then. Okay, if you got in trouble for scamming and you're involved in something that's potentially scamming, yet again, isn't that a big no-no?
Yes. And also, sorry, if I said federal, I meant felony. I'm mixing up my F words. Felony. I said felony.
Yeah, no, I do that. So
I meant federal. I meant felony. I said federal. I meant felony. Felony probation, not federal. Yeah. Felony probation. So yes, it was a felony. But yeah, sorry, Doug. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
I found that transcript of that thing too. So yesterday, when all of that madness was going on, we had. Well, let me actually pull it up. I'll pull up what came up yesterday, and then I actually have enjoyed watching people post about this stuff. It's been kind of funny. So first it pops off with somebody asking. You can see the question
sorry.
right
First,
there.
Before we get into this, that is the dumbest looking hairstyle I've ever seen in my whole damn life. What is this man thinking? There's is the worst hair. Oh,
There's
perfect. By the way. Okay, let me write that down.
Yeah, 6:09:44, right in that area.
6:09:44.
God, that's a long live stream. 8.5 hours.
Boy, is that a stupid looking haircut. I mean, never have I ever seen anything worse than that. And I'm the hair expert, you guys know. I have to take a moment to talk about this man's hair. He looks like he got caught in a wind tunnel sideways.
It happens, man. Sometimes trying to avoid a hurricane. But
was he standing outside during the last hurricane for too long? Good Lord.
He was asked, are Thuleys not scammers? And now you would think the answer would be like with anybody else. Like if somebody said, hey, Tug, is Megan a scammer? I'd be like, absolutely not. I know that 100%. I don't associate with that. I would be pretty damn sure. He's not a new person online. I know, like in their first days, can you be taken by something? Sure. But he's been on this a long time. So.
And did he really say, I don't know 3 times?
Look, here's his answer. Here's his transcript. So you can see. I'm not going to speak on the other channels. I don't know Adventures with LA. I don't know. I have no idea. Okay.
Who's Adventures with LA?
That's the person that asked the
super chat. I see. So he's, I gotcha. Yeah. What does he mean he doesn't know? He sits online with them for hours and hours. How do you not know?
And it's just like, I don't know if these people are scammers, though. Well, holy crap.
I don't know about Thuleys. I don't know about Get Swamped. Get Swamped. He's been in jail already.
I'm just like this. I'm like, dude, I realize you and Jeremy, like you have a hate boner for him, okay? I hear you there, okay? But that doesn't mean you link up with every nasty asshole out there. And because they want to do damage. If you're linking up with scammers, you know what? You're not associated with scammers. People will remember your name as a scammer. So being like, I don't know when. Hey, I've got a kid right here. 1 second here. Mm-hmm. What you doing, girl? You want a rocket pop? You want rocket pop today? What's the matter? What's your matter?
Sissy hit me with a phone when I said just go on my room.
You all were playing now. Oh yes.
No,
yes.
really not.
Don't be narking out, Sissy. I heard you all playing.
We were playing ago.
Narking out. Yep. Don't be narking out.
She narks her out, man. She's
no, I didn't.
She's like, she hit me with a toy because she told me to go to my room. It was like they were freaking playing. I heard you. I heard you. Oh man, oh no, not your tiny shoulder. No, oh, no. Not your little shoulder. You wanna?
Is she gonna live?
Yeah, and
does it need to be amputated?
He was not playing with me. Who just went to a room because I said a lie.
She told a lie. Oh no, not a lie.
Who lied?
I heard you all playing, you little crazy.
But monkey. Sissy lied a little. Sissy lied a ago.
Oh man, oh my goodness.
Who lied about flicking mom's face?
Hey, well, we don't. Those are not all true. That's not all true.
Sissy lied.
You're knocking out Sissy.
No, Sissy actually lied.
You're knocking out Sissy to like.
No, Sissy actually lied.
3,600 people listening. Poor
You have
Sissy.
to remind her
She
that when she
lied.
gets older, Sissy's going to be the one helping her sneak out of the house and stuff.
We talk about sticking up for each other. Actually, not that part. I don't want to.
Her lied. Her lied.
You want to rock a pop for real?
Yeah, and Sissy lied.
I heard you the 17th time. So if you want to rock it pop, go get one. I'll open it real quick.
What about, can you call Sissy or text her or something?
For what? What do you want me to tell her? Hey, stop lying.
And stop lying and come to my room because they go to my room.
Oh, you want her to play with you? Is that right? I'll ask her if she will play with you. Okay.
Yay! I wanted to play with her. And
that's what this is.
That's what this is about.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yep. Yes, I will ask her.
You got to it. That's what this is about.
Yep.
You know what the lie was? That she would play with her doing something. That's probably what she's saying. She said she would play with me, and then she did.
Pretty much. That's what it is.
Yep. That's what all sisters do. All big sisters, same thing. I will later. I'll play. Yes, I'll play with you later, and then later never comes.
Yeah. Well, they were playing actually just a little bit ago, and then they played for like 20, 25 minutes. I mean, they've been playing for a while, but it ended. And she's like, no,
they don't like it when it ends.
The energy of a 5-year-old. It never ends.
It never ends.
The stuff, though, over the... Did you drop that down the steps?
Yep.
A rocket pop came flying on the steps.
I heard that. She threw a rocket pop.
I thought something fell off my freaking microphone.
I thought I had a kid behind me. I jumped.
Because I didn't want Sissy to worry.
Oh, you don't want her worrying? Okay. Well, hey, tell her. You can tell her because she has not responded to me. Tell her to check her stuff. And you guys play and start knocking each other out. Okay?
I'm not knocking her.
You are.
I'm not narking her. That's the cutest thing ever.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not a narc.
You're a narc. Okay. All right. Well, go upstairs and tell her, and shut my door, please. Thank you. Love you, kiddo.
Aw. Look at John S's super chat. It's so timely. Do you want to build a snowman?
Yeah, exactly. Do you want to make a snowman? Wait, I think my sissy lied.
I never see you anymore.
You're not at my door. And then I really cried.
I'm going to tell Dad on you.
That's how it is right there. Now, the one thing I was noting, I got kind of, I'm going to say sidelined with what I was saying about that one. The thing with David, it wasn't just randos. I mean, they weaponized their entire audience against this guy who would give it money. And then you notice, like, people were missing this in the clips I saw. They were, they would see, MP, that was being highlighted. But if you look right at the very top, there's old Ray saying, please don't get in a hurry to return the money.
Unbelievable.
That's messed up when you think about it.
It is crazy.
Yeah, I was looking through, I didn't notice that at all at first myself, because people had gone through, they'd marked where, she was commenting all through all of this. And I mean, she was all over that, by the way. Even people were getting on to her about, this isn't about you. It's about Lisa. But you can see her. Here, I'll let you check this out. Whoops, give me a second here. I've got a couple of these. All right, there's one. You can see her. She's like, Lisa, put things on hold and call me quick. It's falling apart. It's falling apart.
Oh, yeah. She tried to get her to call her several times during that stream. And I noticed that she said, Lisa said something like, I know I owe you a call. I will. But like, she wanted her to stop streaming. And there was more stuff in there about her saying, we need to talk about how to handle this. Things need to change. Oh, yeah. Good luck. Good luck. You allowed people to raise money in your name, but it didn't go to your bank account, and it didn't go to a fundraiser, and nothing is transparent. Well, and you allowed people with histories, like these awful fraudulent histories of ripping people off. You allowed them to take control of thousands of dollars of money that was supposed to go to you. Wow. Yeah, good luck. You're not going to get them on the phone. Pretty soon, they're going to do to you exactly what Gabe did to his victims, which was blow you off and ghost you.
It's just unreal, man. It's unreal to see it. You knew this stuff would happen. I mean, you absolutely knew it was going to happen. But the kicker to all of this is the way it's happening. I expected there to be some fallout, but I thought it would build. You know what I mean? I thought there would be like building noise. I didn't think there would be one David to rule them all, you know?
Listen, in all seriousness though, to David, I mean, I'm really sorry that they've convinced you to do this and to spend your money there, and no judgment or whatever, but if you want to talk about it, let me know how much that you've given and what you want. I'm open to it. I want to hear from you.
Oh, so Shara's been on the absolute posting warpath, and she posted some stuff that I thought was really interesting. Not just about safety and more, but also she put a total in. I thought, whoa. So
I wonder if that was a typo.
I don't know. That's what I need to clarify with her, because
I'll ask her. Oh, I know. I've got the readers. I'll mute my.
Okay. Yeah, she so give me 1 second. So Shara has been posting, and I've got to find the one where she posted, because she mentions 3K. She's pretty on the spot about how much money she's been talking about. But she says, well, actually, give me a second. I'll send this over to myself, because I took a screenshot, and Facebook is. I screenshot all of this stuff there. And I also told Sharon, I very much mean this. I posted this over there, that you can tell she's worried about her safety. You can.
Oh God, I know she is. I know that.
She went to the police. I mean, so.
Well, and I would have too. That was a terrible threat.
Oh, I've actually.
It was really bad.
Yeah, there's no way.
Imagine the type of people who threaten a child. It's crazy. And for those of the idiots who are saying, oh, well, Lynette's child is threatened all the time. No one has threatened Lynette's child. No one. Everyone has expressed concern about the conditions, the living conditions, and the possible abuse and possible neglect that is going on there. No one has threatened her safety. That's ridiculous. This right here, this is a threat. This is crazy. Shara, my friend, been looking at your information and family. The real golden key going to drop in 48 hours. Your son will be first. What in the hell? Who thinks that this is a good idea? Like, why would you say something like this? Why would you do something like this?
That reached straight as a threat. No, there is no other interpretation to take that. There were some people that were trying to be like, oh, they're talking about blah. No. Like, if you were you were looking at this and somebody typed that about your child, how would you take that? Like, how should Shara? Because I know how I'd take it. I would take it when I've dealt with enough online psychopaths.
Oh, I would absolutely take it. I would take it exactly the way she did. I would have called the police too. This is nuts. Absolute nuts. And the idea that anything like this has ever been directed towards Lynette or her child. Now, I don't know what random internet people do. I don't know what's been some randos out there. I have not seen anything like this, though. Nothing. I haven't seen it on the Facebook page. I haven't seen it anywhere. I certainly haven't seen it in any of the YouTube channels that are covering this story who are concerned for HG and her safety. I haven't seen any of that. Everyone's just like, gee, we think she might not be in very good living conditions.
No. Who's posting about, hey, my child told me this horrible thing, but I'm not going to tell the authorities.
Right. Exactly.
I don't think that's me, you, or Jeremy, or anyone else. No, that's them. I mean, she, of course, if they don't have a spin to it, they just don't mention it. Shara mentioned this, though, talking about the scammer thing, and I did wonder about it. She said, where's my $3,000? Usually she says $311. So she's pretty on, but she said there was other money too.
Oh, you know what I think this is? I bet it's the money she spent on all the Freedom of Information Act. Yep. Yeah. I guarantee that's what it is. Because I remember her telling me that she spent like $3,000 on FOIA requests, collecting all the records. And and the reason, and look at how she put it. Where is my $3,000? Your client took from me with her lies. Because if she lied to Shara's story is that Lynette lied to her about all of this, which made her start investigating the case, spending the money on the FOIA requests, etc., all to get to the bottom of this alleged thing that Lynette said happened, that Shara says turned out to be a lie. So yeah, I think that's what it means. I think it's about the money she spent investigating the case.
Man, I've been looking through. There's a bunch of Shara stuff. I'm not gonna bring it all up tonight. I want her to have everything posted before I cover it. You know what I mean? Like I want everything there, but I do want Shara to know while we're bringing things up that if there's any need whatsoever, obviously she has the law enforcement angle. She definitely should have done it. She did. That's awesome. I commend her 100% on that. But beyond that, I know there's a lot of stress and everything else. So she just should know that people are backing her out here.
Yeah, and for people, there's a couple of you in the chat who say she needs to let the federal judge know. She really can't do that. There's no way for her to contact the federal judge, and she probably shouldn't. There's no way for her to actually do that. Her local police should be investigating and taking care of this.
They're the ones that need to be all over it.
Yeah, they're the ones who should be all over it. Yeah.
And hopefully they are. We had an order today, by the way. It's very short, but I want to pull that, and then we can talk about the information and the responses to stuff. We started this discussion yesterday, where we were talking about requests for, well, let's just call it evidence or proof. Hey, why don't you show us what you got? And the responses have been 12 out of 20 were like, this is work production, or this is attorney-client privilege. The things that were turned over, according to Randy, weren't screenshots the way they should be. There were 3 videos of screenshots of messages, which is ridiculous. That's not how you're supposed to do that at all. So he put in a filing for it, and the judge actually gave I'm going to say a pretty brief statement on that. And this is, I don't know, this is easy. I'm just going to hit this fast, Megan, that way, and then we can discuss it. Okay. So order, January the 7th, 2025, plaintiff filed a motion to compel production of documents. In the motion, plaintiff's counsel certifies that he, quote, conferred with counsel for defendants via written correspondence, via email, in good faith effort to resolve the issues, and that the parties were unable to resolve the issues raised by the motion. Now, although it appears that the parties have previously conferred in writing, there is no indication that plaintiff's counsel and defendant's counsel have had an in-person or telephone conversation to discuss the issues raised in plaintiff's motion. The court has found that telephonic or in-person conversations, between counsel after a motion has been filed often result in a resolution, or at least narrowing of the dispute. One other page. With this, I'm going to say that I will be shocked if that does anything, but give me 1 second. Another page. There it is.
I know what the judge is doing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The judge doesn't want to be a babysitter the whole time, is what the judge wants. He's like, come on, dude.
He wants them to work out their own crap before they bring it to him. And he wants them to, he was almost going to order them to lunch. So, yes. He wants them to sit down and talk. Now, unfortunately, it seems like Bruce has just been doing things to keep that from being possible. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, the court therefore orders the parties to confer telephonically or in person regarding the issues raised in plaintiff's motion to compel. That would again be document 52 for the people keeping score. That conference shall occur on or before Wednesday the 15th. So we have a week right there. During the conference, the court expects the parties to endeavor in good faith to resolve the issues raised in the motion. If counsel resolves the issues, this is not going to happen. I'm just saying. They turned over nothing. Nothing. Like it was just. Oh God, we'll get into that.
You were doing so well reading fast. In fact, you read the last one so fast. I thought I had it on fast speed.
You were like, "What's going on with you? Are you on the crack?"
I never heard you read that fast, except for when I play you on 1.5 speed, and I was like, "Holy crap, what's happening?"
You know what's funny is I can do it. Like I'm in a good. Hey, you're back. We're having fun. We're goofing off. By the way, again, since there's a bunch of people here, tomorrow will be lit. We're going to have to really tell Megan, hey, glad to have you back. And more than that, though, we need to tell the algorithm for YouTube, hey, this person, even though they were off, yeah, they're supposed to be here and they're supposed to have big numbers. So everyone that can show up, you know, if your dog has a computer, invite it along, whatever, you know, pets.
We're very pet friendly.
Invite your grandmama, whatever. We will endeavor to actually just tell your grandmama if she doesn't like the profanity to take ye old hearing aid out. You know?
Ye old hearing aid. Oh, it's so good.
Okay, here, I can finish this here. If counsel resolves the issue raised in the motion, then they should file a joint notice advising the court that the matter has been resolved. If the parties are unable to resolve the issue after having a conference, the defendant should file a response to the motion to compel on or before Wednesday, January 22nd. So we're going to be hopping for a couple of weeks here. Defendant's response should include the date that the in-person or telephonic conversation occurred, as well as the duration of the conversation. If the parties are unable to resolve the issues raised in the motion, counsel should expect that a hearing will be scheduled shortly after defendant's response is filed. So this, again, popped today. This is a brand new one, just a note. Oh, man. I was looking at Bruce's responses to all of the requests for production, and yeah, no. Now, there's actually a good thing with this. So the way that this is set up, give me 1 minute. I'll pull this up here. So in the defendant's response, we'll pull up Preston's. If we roll down through here, we can actually get to each request for production, and we can see what was asked for and then the objection. So
like real quick though about the order, I mean, not only does he want them to work it out, but I did notice something significant in that order, which was he not only wants to know when the call is being scheduled, he wants to know how long it was.
Yep.
That's a very interesting thing to put there. Yep. I want to know how long the call was.
Well, after the hang up and the screaming call, nobody in a professional setting, no one can be forced to sit through something where someone is screaming and ranting and acting like a total a-hole. Like that just, I can only imagine. After everything that Shara talked about, the way she was treated, you know, Randy talking about the ranting and the screaming and being hung up on. Oh, I guess we will see.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta tell you, I think Judge Bolito has a lot of faith in this process that might be misplaced, is all. I mean, he's already had to call them for an in-person hearing. I don't know what makes him think that, like, suddenly it's just going to go fine. You know, Bruce is suddenly going to act.
He had to sit in for depo.
I know. You never hear about that. Like, it hardly ever happens that a federal judge would call you into his courtroom to sit there and watch, you know, this deposition. It's crazy. And then to tell them, hey, I want to be a potted plant here. You better not need me. And then he's needed multiple times. He already has a poor opinion of what's going on here. So the idea that he's now asking them to report to him how long this telephone conversation, I'm surprised he didn't ask them to record it, to tell you the truth.
Well, that would actually be the answer. I mean, typically you don't get into record, obviously. I mean, we know that. But the way that this stuff has gone, to be honest, too, I'm just being blunt about it. Like with most lawyers, you see them perhaps distorting the truth, but I don't trust BBB to actually tell the truth at all. Like,
yeah, me either.
So no. But we had all the questions laid out. We actually were looking at those yesterday, and we do have a copy of the email too. That was actually there as well, and it kind of breaks these down. It's shorter, but he's telling you. Actually, I'll just pull this right here too, just to give you an idea of how negotiation on this looks. It's like, yeah, this is what I'm saying. you know, this is the way it's going to go.
I stand on the listed objection, although the provided communications are responsive. Request number 2, same. 3, same. I love number 4. I honestly can't understand what this is seeking.
Look at number 5. Same. You want to invade her entire history of phone calls so you can contact people to generate content? What the fuck, dude?
What is he talking about? He is the only attorney in this case who has literally done things to generate content for his what the Hales media ecosystem.
He built an ecosystem.
He released Jeremy's deposition.
He also
and had it set up on the lease to be read immediately. Not that I care. I think that it's perfectly fine. But I mean, he's the one using stuff for... Does Randy sit on a YouTube channel that I am unaware of? Has Randy taken part in any of the coverage at all? No. Short of one interview that I think he gave to Larry months ago about mostly other things. It really wasn't about this case. He has not appeared anywhere. He has not done anything, said anything. How can you accuse him of wanting to generate content when this guy is the head flea of the What the Hales anti-media ecosystem?
Not only that, but he's like, turn over everything that deals with your contractual obligations, everything else. I totally won't say anything about that. But when he's asked for information, hey, what do you have here? Oh, no, we're not turning anything over. And it's like, wait a minute.
And when he was asked to sign a piece of paper that said he would not reveal that confidential business information, he refused to sign it. He refused. So what? Who's the one doing things?
I got an older kid later. Just a second. Hey, kiddo. Hi. Hey, I heard from a smaller one. Did you know the small one narked you out earlier?
What did I do?
She said, you lied. You lied. Apparently she wanted time to play with you. And she didn't get her time, even though y'all played for a while. So you can play with her some more. Yeah.
I already did play with her. I can't fist bump you because it'll ruin the paper gloves.
Yeah, she made her.
Oh, she's still working on
I'm going to tell y'all the character I'm cosplaying.
Yeah. What
I am Scraps from Dandy's World. It's the character I want, but I can't because I haven't encountered Twisted Goob yet, and I don't have enough ichor!
I have no what. That sounded like a foreign language, what you just said to me.
Foreign language?
It did. It sounded.
I had to ask my kid yesterday to stop speaking Zoomer. I didn't understand.
So this is a character I want in the game, but I can't get it because I don't have enough ichor.
You got. I see.
Work for
you got to work it out. Yeah.
And they have little missions you have to have for the characters.
You got to unlock them. I got you.
Yeah, and I have to get 50 research on Twisted Goob, and I only have 5.
Okay.
And Twisted aren't just something you can just spawn out.
I know, man. It's terrible.
Randomly.
It's awful. It's awful. How dare they? Well, you go have fun. Hey, play with Sissy though, for real, okay? She's missing her sister.
You're watching your stream.
All right. All right. Well, go play with her. Have fun. Love you, kiddo. Close the door for me too, okay? Oh, okay. Close it. I was like, wait a minute. Are you speaking the same language as I am?
Oh yeah.
Wait. You were talking about unlocking a character.
my daughter, she told a story and I understood 3 words of it. I was like, okay, would you knock off the Generation Z language? I don't understand Zoomer. I don't understand any of this. She used a phrase, it was Tokyo Dad jeans. And I was like, what? What's Tokyo Dad jeans? She's like, it's a style of jeans. And I'm like, It is?
No, my kid has gotten to the point. We were walking through a place, and I can't remember we were walking through like the mall, and there was a song on, and a hot topic. It's funny, by the way. My daughter there told me, yeah, there's a store. We got to go to it, but you probably don't know what it is.
Hot Topic? Oh, that's funny.
Topic. I was like, that thing's been around since I was a teenager. What are you talking about?
I know what Hot Topic is.
But we went in there, and I wasn't listening to the lyrics, but there were some. Let's just say there were some lyrics. Of course, you run across them everywhere. She was like, "Dad," and she asked me. I can't remember what it was, but it was very explicit. She was like, "What does that mean?"
Oh Lord.
I was like, oh no, you're asking me one of those questions and you're asking me that in public. Let's not have that conversation here for Christmas. This is not the Christmas present I want.
Whatever you do, don't take them into Spencer's. Boy, has that place changed since I was a kid. When I was a kid, Spencer's was just a joke. It was just a joke shop. Now it's talk about explicit. Everything is F words everywhere. And then you go to the back and it's a literal sex store.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It was. I was stunned because we were going, and this is in the mall. So we have a mall in Murfreesboro. Well, it's got, it's right down. There's a place you can get ices and stuff. It's like, all right, that's cool. Then you have a little arcade. They even have these giant stuffed animals that kids can control and ride around on.
Yeah. I've seen those. They're funny.
Okay, well, right from there, you go down 2 stores. So it means just 2 little stores away, and you pop into a store full of dildos. I was like, Texas say what now?
Yeah, Texas would never allow that. I bet Spencer's in Texas can't sell that stuff. But when I was a kid, they used to have really funny things in there, like pasta shaped like boobs. That was
it was a joke shop.
Funny. It was a joke shop. It had like funny jelly beans that were marked as like random pills for silly things, and you would go there to find funny gifts for people. And it wasn't like that. It wasn't explicit. It was the worst thing they had was edible underwear, which was a joke. It was a joke. It was like a Fruit Loop or not Fruit Loop, a fruit leather thing.
Now there was a section over there like. The last time I went in, there's a section that is not only adults, but some of the stuff. I was like, who exactly wants, let's say, monster parts? Let's just say it that way. Yeah. Would you like something that looks like a serrated knife from a demon?
Lord.
It's like, what? Gross. For real, these are real things. I was like, no, not in my life. I don't need that. I didn't even know that existed.
Well, like you used to be able to get like bachelorette gag gifts there. So maybe there would be like, I don't know, some adult shaped straws. But like now it's like, it's just X-rated. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. And I think it's kind of misleading too, because I think kids would be drawn in there from the front of the store with the t-shirts,
all the t-shirts, novelty shirts.
Oh yeah, the novelty
they have
shirts,
like Rick and Morty crap, and animes and everything. They've got all this stuff that, again, like you said, it's very misleading.
They should check IDs before they let anybody in there. It's crazy in there.
Well, it is. There's certain, like if it were just 100% that type of store, there would be laws about that. But since it's some kind of hybrid store in the back, I guess there's no problem. I don't know.
Oh, it's strange to me. It's absolutely
totally off topic. I got this.
I got to change my avatar. I totally took us on a weird derail there. Let's see. Let's bring back the derailer. Where'd she go? There she is.
Oh man, the derailer. Today has been by the way, thank you all for super chats and everything. I will definitely hit them all there. If you like this show, by the way, there are over 3,900 of you.
Wow.
So yeah, no, it's awesome there.
I better see you all tomorrow night.
Yes, it'll be a good one. So it'll definitely be worth it. So we also, again, we need to tell the algo though. It is very important to do that. So if you enjoy the show, make sure we don't need punishment. You should be able, in this thing, you should be able to take a week off. If you have an emergency or something else, you shouldn't be punished. Like, I'm afraid I'll get sick and lose my voice because if I do, I mean, it's so weird.
Look at the rest of this. This is so crazy.
Yeah, number 6.
What does refute to mean? It makes no sense. It's not for her to refute. Whether this refers to refuting the claim she made the comments or refuting the comment itself, it's for your client to prove she made comments and that they are actionable. I honestly don't know what you're seeking here.
So this is the statement too. This is what the request for production asks. It says, actually, let me pull it up on the screen. Okay. So you can see what he was responding to with that one. Oh man. So this is request for production number 6. All documents and communications of which you are aware that refute any statement attributed to you in the complaint or the plaintiff's response in opposition to So anything, essentially, if you're saying, well, this refutes the complaint or this refutes anything in the response to, why don't you provide that? So anything you're going to use.
2 might be a typo, but it's not that hard to just read around it. Refute any statement attributed to you.
But you got to remember that's been his go-to. Remember, he's tried to correct people and say, "Oh my gosh,
right?
Actually, okay, let's pull that one back up."
But I mean, were those his objections underneath there?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I have a bone to pick with the formatting.
Oh yeah, we'll hit that whole. This is just the communication though, to give people an idea of how communications went with BBB. Oh man, give me a second. Hey, hold for 1 second.
No problem.
Just down my steps.
Was that a slinky? It sounded like a slinky.
Yes, it was a slinky. So
I knew it. I would know that noise anywhere. Absolutely anywhere. I used to love playing with slinkies.
Put it on the other steps, not these. Yeah, I heard.
I would know that sound anywhere.
I was just like, what in the heck? Hey, take it up to the other steps, though, baby. Not here. No, ma'am. Not on these steps.
No, no ma'am.
No, ma'am. Oh, ma'am. I don't want to have to confiscate the slinky. Yeah, take it to the other steps. You've got as many steps. Close my door too, please. Thank you.
I always hated it when the metal slinky would get a kink in it, and then you couldn't make it work, and you couldn't unkink it. You know, it's very hard to get that.
Make that sound up weird though. It's like, what in the world? You know, because your headphones.
I knew exactly what it was. I knew exactly what it was.
I was just like, why am I hearing slinky sounds? You know, and I look back and there goes Slinky right
there. They ruined them when they turned them plastic. They don't move the same. Yeah, I could tell. That's an original. That one right there. That's old school.
All right, so with 7, he went same. 8. Now, not sure what you're seeking. You produce her state. So this was asking for police reports. You know, you produced her state court filings to us. Your client obtains all police records. Then. Again, why isn't this privileged? I mean, it's a question.
That's so strange.
He's not supposed to answer why it's privileged.
Well, why would Randy have the answer to why something is privileged according to Bruce?
Well, he also, so that question too. And again, we will look over these and talk about the format as well. But that was all engagement letters and invoices and documents otherwise sufficient to identify all of the attorneys. So this is just identifying the attorneys with whom you have attorney-client relationship in connection with any civil litigation to which you are a party and or any civil or criminal litigation, grand jury testimony, and or state or federal investigations related to the plaintiff by name or otherwise. So 2 things they want. All of the attorneys. And also, I mean, this would identify...
An engagement letter is not privileged.
No.
No, because they may be trying to figure out, like, for instance, Shara made the point that Bruce keeps saying he's pro bono. And she's like calling him out on that and saying, no, you're not. And he's made those claims publicly too. Engagement letters I do not believe are privileged. No, that's part of what you
can
could
identify
discover.
represents somebody. I mean, that's not.
Yeah, it's just an engagement to engage. That's not privileged. There's no privileged information, no secret information in there. Considering Bruce's history with engagement letters and problems with how he words contracts
Well,
that
he
got him in
definitely.
trouble with the bar.
Yes. And he definitely danced that. Remember on Veteran Nation, that was the first time that he really came in. He may have talked about this somewhere, before, but he hadn't answered that to somebody that wasn't an ecosystem member that I'm aware of. And Veteran Nation was like, "Hey, do you have a contract with her? Are you attorney?" And he danced that subject the entire time.
And I don't know why that. I can't imagine why that would be privileged.
I can imagine why you dance that. Like, what is the problem?
He is the attorney of record. Why wouldn't he have an engagement letter?
Why also aren't you disclosing that? So you're going in and misleading people by having conversations, pretending that you're just some neutral party, or you're a party that's defending them, and yet really, like, quite literally defending them in a court of law. Like, that's really messed up, isn't it? You shouldn't be telling people that you're engaged in that. Strange. So he asked why, again, the 10th. Again, it's so unspecific to be unanswerable. Number 11, this information is the same as anyone can see. She doesn't have any additional unless you can explain what else you're seeing. 12 is the same as 5. You're invading her entire phone calls. Number 13. Oh, that's something that you and I kind of didn't explain well yesterday, and I thought this would be something to talk about. So there were certain dates with number 13 that were brought up. And I'm going to pull this. Yes. This is one I kind of went with the assumption people would know the date. And I thought, why did I do that? Why would I assume people would know dates? So this one, it notes May 11th to May 14th, 2023. Now, what happened?
Now, that's very specific. That would be what you call not overly broad, but narrowly tailored. That is a very narrowly tailored request, which should not be denied in any way. And the reason why it is between May 11th and May 14th, because that is the 3 days that they believe the signs were posted on the highway. And between those 3 dates.
I remember that date. It may be random. It's stuck in my mind because my birthday is the 15th. So it's like, wow, it just sticks in my mind with that. But what was fascinating about that too is the response to this. He asked, just a note for the request, GPS
Wait a minute. Did you just say your birthday is May 15th?
Yeah.
Tug, that is so weird. My birthday is exactly 1 month before yours. April 15th.
Tax celebrations day. Forever.
Oh my gosh. The 15th. We're both the 15th. That's so weird.
15th kids. Middle of the monthers. The middle of the month club.
Middle of the month club is right. It's the gift that keeps on giving, folks.
The gift that keeps on giving.
It's so weird. Sorry, I interrupted you. I derailed you again.
No. It's good because I thought this was a really interesting item. They have a newer car, right? Actually, your cars, period. I mean, they keep some information, some interesting information. So he asked on 13, any GPS records from either automobile or from mobile devices for those dates? And Bruce is like, that doesn't exist.
How could it not exist? Wait, well, first of all, hold on. Everyone's mobile device has GPS on it, whether you think you have it or not. So it's not sufficient to say there's no GPS.
Actually, I have an idea on this. If they're saying that she switched phones, like that's not available, the phone company still has records of that. So if they if they want to get into this, Randy, if you listen to this, if they actually want to do that dance and be like, oh no, she's got a different device. The device doesn't matter. You can actually go to the phone company itself, messages and stuff, like where's all that coming? Where's it pinging off of? And you can find out also what the phone number was in question at the time. If you find this information out, what would be interesting, I think, should be asked. She keeps saying, oh, well, I've changed my number a million times. What are those numbers then?
And by the way, both of them have newer vehicles. That Jeep that she bought was a newer vehicle. It absolutely guaranteed has a black box inside.
Oh yeah,
guaranteed. If anybody watched the Karen Reed trial, you would have been sufficiently horrified to find out how much information is now being stored in your newer vehicle. It has the same sort of device now that they put on airplanes, and they don't tell you this. They don't tell you when you buy a car. They don't tell you how to disable such a thing. And this thing tells you what time you went, what speed, for how long, on what date, and it just logs all of this information. 100% her Jeep has one. Yep. No possible way her Jeep does not have that in the car's computer.
I just think that they should make a request, though, also for any phone number, because one of the things that she played in that prior trial, she kept saying that she didn't have this information because she switched devices and phone numbers. Okay, well, you know, you actually, that stuff is not gone. They just need a record of all phone numbers that she has been utilizing. And they can also find out from that if she's lying, because if she's out there saying that, you know, I've had too many phone numbers during that time, and it turns out they'll only turn one over, well, then that's a complete bunk ass lie. But that was the responded, by the way. You know, so when we're talking responded, that was the response. He also, this is interesting. So there's a response to 14 and 15. Okay.
Wait. He said that his number 13, he said he responded, and the response was no GPS.
No. Yeah. Well, it's the same thing with.
That's a lie. Survey says that was a lie.
Yeah, that's responded, but it's not turning anything over whatsoever.
Right.
They also. So this was a request about experts. Now, what the 14 asks for, it says all documents related to any claim referenced in the lawsuit generated by, prepared for, or reviewed by a consulting expert. Now this would be our boy there, sign boy. That's going to be one of them. You know, Mr. I can tell from your writing that you had trauma as a 12-year-old. That guy, they asked for it, and his
charlatan. I like how it says for the expert who is not designated to testify in the trial of this matter, whose opinions or reports have been reviewed by or relied upon by experts who may testify.
I from this answer, and they want the CV for them too.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's a good request. It's a very good one, because they went out, they wanted to play the social media game. I don't think they had any intention of putting that person in.
Speaking of using stuff for content.
Indeed.
Clearly, if you're not putting it in to court, if you're not filing it in court, it wasn't for court.
I'd like to know how much.
What was it for?
Well, you know, if you're going to get that information, maybe, Randy, you could find out how much they spent too. Because if they had no inclination to utilize this at all, they were just using this as a social media bludgeon, and the costs are correct that we've seen, thousands of dollars.
$3,000 to $5,000.
Yeah, where did the money come from? Is that part of the fundraising endeavor? Because there's no way those randos out there that they would know if their money went to it. And you're not going to tell me those people that we see talking about this case, they actually came out with that money out of their own pockets. No freaking way. Somebody paid for this, I'm sure.
Speaking of money, Shari did get back to me to clarify about the $3,000. She says nearly $3,000, several hundred in insulation to cool the baby, as well as electric repair. that was never used for electric repairs, and other small items, and hundreds of dollars in files.
Okay. So, but part of that, I wonder, I'm curious how much of that is for filing. Again, if she doesn't want to get the specifics, I understand that too. I'm just curious, like how much of that went toward what we would call as a scam. If the money is being generated to pay for electric, pay for insulation and all of that stuff, and it's being utilized for other purposes, especially when it's being asked for publicly, that is a scam.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why people don't report. I mean, there are agencies that you can report scamming to, and if you believe
you've
have
got
been
a
scammed,
guy. Yes. Oh, by the way, that reminds me. So I actually found an agency based on one of the news reports I saw about these scams in Port St. Lucie. There's an agency. It is the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation, and they give out a number that you can call to ask if a contractor has any complaints lodged against them. So I did make that call. And tomorrow night, I'll be playing that audio of that call for you guys to see if there were any complaints filed.
Fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I made that call, recorded it just for you. And you know what? Here's the thing. When you have people giving money to a pair of people who are known by law enforcement and courts all over the place having done these sorts of frauds, I'm not even sure that a guy on felony probation is allowed to be involved at all in anything like this. I'm not sure that he's even that. I wonder what his probation officer would think about this.
Yeah, I mean, going after a guy like the way they've gone after Jeremy Hales, where he's in federal litigation, talking about stalking, harassment, threats. I mean, there's a party that's involved. I'm not saying that specific person is doing this, but tied to all of them, they have hitman threats and more. I mean, come on, that's wow. What would somebody on probation? Why are they mingling with that? And isn't interestingly enough, looking at some of the backgrounds to some of these folks, should they all be commingling too? I mean, we're talking about people that they've been in trouble with the law. Maybe when you're out there still reporting, you're probably not supposed to mingle with those folks.
Nope, I don't think so. Also, there's a lot of things that are going on that like he's not supposed to be doing. Not supposed to be around alcohol. That's weird. That Christmas thing they had, there were pictures of cans
alcohol,
of alcohol.
Zoomed in with alcohol and stuff. Oh, yeah, I saw those.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Not supposed to be around any substances. Well, that's strange because there's a whole lot of substances reported to be on that property by Lynette herself. So, there's just a whole lot here. When you put it all together, it adds up to something really unsavory. Really unsavory. And I feel very sorry for the people who've been scammed by it, who are giving their money to these people with no transparency whatsoever, no clue where it's going. And you think that just that shitty fence, that's it? That's where all the money went? I doubt it.
There's so much. It's beyond questionable. If you're arrested, though, or you've been convicted, you're on probation or parole, you're not allowed to associate with other known criminals or to be involved in criminal activity. There's two parts to that. Not criminal activity, yes, but also any known criminals. That's not good.
How about being around a guy who we know has lots of pew-pews all over the property? Is that something you can be around when you're on felony probation? A guy who's been arrested for stuff and for doing that, for pulling those things out on people. I mean, there's so many questions here that just none of this makes any sense. And I truly believe that's what got the donor upset, was that the real information about Gabe's background dropped. The real, that he scammed people. Grand Theft.
I'll be right back. I don't know if you can hear
Sure.
the
I do.
chaos.
I hear the chaos. Go
They're
for it.
playing, one of them cannot find the other with hide and seek, and she's like, "You're hiding too well."
No, go definitely.
I'm gonna
Go
call
ahead.
back. I'll be right back.
All right. This is such. I feel sorry for anybody who gave to this. We did try to warn you, though. We said I wouldn't give anything to this because there's no transparency. There's no way to tell where your money's going. And now we know that both people involved in this have long histories of real bad stuff. 8 evictions is not an accident. That is not I had a hard year. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, but you know what I do? I pay my bills, and especially my rent. I pay that first. When I was renting and my mortgage now, I pay it first. Because you do not want to get caught up in not paying your rent. It is against the law to not pay your rent. And to do it 8 times and actually get thrown out 8 times. That is not a mistake. It is not just a one-time personal failing. It is a pattern of behavior. It is fraud against the landlords. It is, and it's thousands of dollars every time. 2 to 3 more than that, $2,000 to $3,000 every time. Now you add that up, and I think I shall add it up at some point. I'll do it before tomorrow, and it's probably a pretty big number when you get it added up. Not to mention how much money the landlords had to pay in legal costs to hire lawyers to get them thrown out. Now, some of it was her and him together getting thrown out. Others was just her. And also, and this will be coming, although not tomorrow because Freedom of Information Act requests take a long time. But Tug, I was just about to tell the chat that I have information that there will be lots of police reports involving one of the head fleas in her evictions.
I wish people would look at this stuff. People keep saying, with everything that comes up, there are people out there that will not listen to anything, and it's their money. Oh, but man, what does it take? Like, at what point do people say, this is enough of a problem that I'm going to take it seriously?
Mm-hmm. And we tried to warn them. We tried. And I hope that maybe, in the future, and it's okay. I mean, like, if you got scammed, you got scammed. And that's unfortunate. And you can, if you gave through PayPal or one of the other things that have this, you can dispute it. You can
also, you can make complaints though if you feel that you've been scammed through YouTube. But unfortunately, with that, they weren't running a fundraiser. Technically, that is against TOS. There are a number of reasons, and you can run a fundraiser, but it needs to be clearly specified. It is part of YouTube's terms of service. There's a little button for it.
Yeah, there's a button. If you're running a fundraiser, you click the button on YouTube when you're setting up your stream.
But I mean, there's no clarification. Again, no goal. You don't know how much money ever needs to be raised. It's
they're running another one now. There's a barn warming. Did you know there's going to be a barn warming? So they're doing it, and they're doing it in HG's name. A barn warming.
I heard that they were doing another present drive. Again, if you're going to give your money, people, make sure that your money goes to what you stated it was for, not to anything else. If you're out there and you think that you're helping out a kid, also, man, again, with some of these things, you need to ask specific questions. You need to be asking, what about that letter? I mean, you have that letter that's written about statements the child reportedly made that were alarming enough, they need to be brought up. And to keep someone away from the child forever, and yet they're around them all the time. You're giving money to that. frustrating.
But this, and it's never going to end, you guys. They have set up a separate YouTube channel for the Harley Jolly Christmas, which they say they're going to do every single year. For how long? How long does Lynette Preston and John Cook want the public to pay for their lives? They want now the barn dominium to be built, and they think that the public should pay for that. Based on what? Based on what? Why can't they go get jobs? I have seen Lynette running around, spending all this time and energy online. You know what she could be doing? Data entry. If she spent the kind of time she does online doing data entry for some company somewhere, she could have a salary.
No, better than that. Here's a even better question. Somebody brought up, and I was like, yeah, she runs a 501c3, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she can work and run a nonprofit, but she can't do actual work. Why? What's the difference? I mean, again, unless there's something questionable about that involves no work whatsoever, what's keeping her from doing something basic?
She works at the flea market.
Yeah.
Why is it that she can't get a job working, being hired by someone to get an actual paycheck so that she doesn't have to ask the public for all of her needs?
I mean, these are things like
nuts.
Here now. They're saying, well, we need a plumber. We need a contractor.
You know, when I need a plumber, you know what I have to do? I have to call one and then pay him. I have to hire him. Why does anybody owe me a plumber?
Not just that. There is a statement by her made a while back that talked about money, and it mentioned needing 15 grand for blah, 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 and only needing 8 more, and we get everything done. Now, this is back when, and I'm like, what? And they wanted Jeremy to run a raffle and everything else. When the convenience wears off,
Mm-hmm.
I also wonder when the whole ecosystem will eat itself, because they've already started.
Yeah.
And I'm there for it.
Get the popcorn.
Now, that document we were talking about, as far as formatting and other items, yeah, I noticed a lot of.
There's nothing that bothers me more than square. Square. What do you call those things? Bullet points.
Mm-hmm.
Square bullet point. You're dealing with a psycho if they choose square for bullet points.
That's part of the MMPI, right?
You know how I tell you that I can tell when psychos email me? This is one of the
square
red flags.
Bullet points.
Yep.
You're like, that's
right
a
here.
giveaway.
No, it's a dead giveaway. No sane person chooses squares for bullet points. Sorry. No.
Look at how some of these objections are. Again,
it's in the DSM-5, by the way.
It's wild. I mean, okay, like here's the request for production 1. All documents and communications relating to any allegations in this matter, including but not limited to all communications you have had with any person or entity named in the complaint or named in plaintiff's response. And I'm going to say this one time as a whole thing, but then I'm going to call it plaintiff's response. Plaintiff's response in opposition to your motion for summary judgment. So, very clear there. All right. Now, what do the objections look like? Well, overly broad. These are cookie cutter nonsense.
Unduly burdensome. I'll tell you who loves to use that phrase. I've heard that a lot as a journalist. I hear the phrase unduly burdensome over and over again. Guess who says it all the time? Can you take a guess? Who would tell me what's unduly? It's all what you've asked for is unduly burdensome.
It sounds like the state.
Every government agency I've ever FOIA'd, every single one,
and it's
unduly burdensome.
They will dump 1 million documents on you. That's what the school systems were doing. When people were asking about curriculum and books that were, let's just say, objectionable. Like I remember that one lady talking about them dumping 5,000 pages on her for just one document dump. And, of course, they're asking for money for that. Oh, yeah. But not reasonably calculated to lead to the discovery of admissible evidence. How exactly is so? Relating to any allegations in this matter.
Relating to the allegations in this matter.
how is that not going to lead to discovery of admissible evidence?
It's completely tailored to the complaint about the allegations in this matter, not to others. It's not saying give me everything you've ever communicated. It's saying give me everything that is related to this matter. That's very standard, by the way. That's a standard request.
Yes, these are very standard. Vague. You don't specifically ask for. I'm not asking for one item unless you know it's there. What you're trying to do is see
you
what
don't
all
know
is there.
exactly what is there. So you have to just, and this is like writing a FOIA request, by the way. You have to, when you don't know the exact document you're looking for, you have to cover all documents related to, let's say, this date range and this person. Any documents, including recordings, 911 calls, whatever you have related to this person between these dates, I want. The cops are not allowed to email you back and say, that's overly broad and you're going to, it's unduly burdensome. Though they do, they will, but then I fight it and then I win.
Right.
Because they're wrong. And he's wrong too.
You know what this is, though? This is a money drain. Every time he comes in and does this stuff, he's trying to cost Journey Hale's money.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's part of it. I think it's also ignorance. Like there's a lot of ignorance. And they don't want to turn over anything either, of course, because they know there's stuff out there.
I think it's wasting time. It's dragging it out.
I think they're trying to protect the ecosystem too, because
of course.
Any communications, I mean, yeah. Also, interestingly enough, he wants to claim attorney-client privilege, but he made contact with these people well before he says that he had anything filed that made him his attorney of record. So that is not confidential information.
Right. He wrote the first response in the federal case for Lynette to file pro se. He was not her attorney at that time. Yep. So nothing he did then is covered by anything.
Yeah, and that's amazing, because if he's writing that up, like you're noting there, if we go down that hole there, how much communication, how many allegations were made that were communicated to him, and vice versa, how many things did he communicate back, how many other people were involved. I mean, there was a lot of stuff out there.
Oh, and I just thought of something. That's also why it's very important when his letter of engagement was dated, and if it exists, what is it? Because that we need to know when were you the lawyer here? When? What date? Because whatever happened before then is not privileged and is subject to discovery.
They can't play the backdating game, because they have talked about this stuff publicly about when was it. So that's going to be a problem too. You get caught backdating, that's going to be an issue too. So sufficient specificity to know what is demanded, really. It's pretty specific. It's like,
I think it's specific,
communications related to allegations.
I mean, I guess we'll see how this works for him. God, the square bullet points are driving me so crazy right now. I can't even look at this without feeling sick. It makes me physically ill to look at the square. But has anyone in the chat actually used square bullet points? I mean, anyone?
Any place I've worked before has been like, no, not even format that's required, because most formats do not allow square bullet points.
Square bullet points is insane. Like this is like the work of a madman right here. I've never. It makes me feel so unsettled. Look at the chat. Nope, never. LMFAO. I mean, honestly, look. I'm looking right now on Google. I'm looking on Google Docs. I'm looking for bullet points. Okay, so on Google Docs, when you go to in order to even choose square. You know, the only two acceptable bullet points to use are round, filled in circle, and unfilled in circle. Everything else is bullshit. Like there's stars and arrows and boxes and diamonds and all this weird shit. The only two appropriate bullet points are circles, filled in or not filled in. There's one that has 4 diamond things together. Oh dear Jesus, no. Who thought this was a good idea? I could go on about this all
it's of the devil
night. It bothers me so much. Stars. You know what would have made this even better? If he uses stars. Bruce, please use stars next time so I can make fun of you for another hour for this.
Use hearts, little pony.
Hearts, little hearts. Seriously, squares are one step away from Care Bears. Square bullet points. I can't get over it. I will not get over it. I'm a writer. I format things. You have certain things that you do. I got to ask my editor, what would you do to me if I turned something in with square bullet points? I'm going to ask her. I'm going to text her right now.
So he noted here that this is also attorney-client privilege or work product privilege for the communications. Well, obviously, when you fill that out, now you actually have to, again, follow certain procedures to say that. You can't just say, hey, everything is protected, therefore. You're supposed to make it so a judge can assess whether or not things are actually protected. I mean, you can't just claim things. You're supposed to go in. And he did this. Let's see.
I'm sorry, I'm tweeting this out right now. Give me your honest opinion on square bullet points.
Here's the...
I got to know what the internet thinks about this.
So the ones he claimed were protected by attorney-client privilege and work product protection.
Okay, this should be interesting.
This was one. Let's see. I want to go through, see which ones are there. So we've seen one, okay? Two. I'm going to keep the list by me, and we'll just refer to this document that's here. But you saw the list. He made that in his written complaint about them not producing. This is number 2. All documents and communications relating to plaintiff that you have had with any person or entity, including without limitation. Russell Meeks. You see all the players here. Russell Meeks. Your co-defendant. Your co-defendant. Marla Hughes. Jeremy Hale.
Wait a minute. Russell Meeks? George. Is he named in this?
Yeah, it's if you've had communications, yeah. If you've
no, wait. Oh no, your co-defendant Marla Hughes.
But you know, the Russell Meeks thing is actually important here because remember the allegation about Jeremy Hales and others are plotting to take him out. I wonder if there are communications that are noting that to Russell Meeks. Mm-hmm. I wonder if there was a letter or anything.
Well, remember, Russell Meeks was in the courtroom with Lynette. Remember? He was in the courtroom within Judge Grudge's courtroom, sitting behind her, possibly maybe even texting her, because she was texting someone, and he appeared to be texting someone in court.
We got both Grangers, a former victim advocate, and Amanda Martin's son. I remember the stories.
Well, Amanda Martin was the victim's advocate whose son attacked Jeremy. So yeah, that makes sense. This was part of it.
DeGroot. In there. Elmer West. Don. So old Don, saw him in that video recently, by the way.
Stuart. I will never get over this poor guy named Stuart. I'm so sorry, Stuart, that your parents did that to you. What a ridiculous thing to do to a child.
That's what my name should have been. Luis. That's what it should have been.
It's like John
it's funny,
Johnson.
Actually, my parents, my name is out there. It's even on the document. You can see it, you know. But my shortening it to it is it's funny. My dad used to make a joke. He would say, "You're like an intact family," because if you shorten my middle name and my first name, it's MS, then my last name, so it's Miss. So when somebody would write me, sometimes it would say Mr. MS and then my last name. So it looked like Mr. and Miss. It's weird. I was like, did you do that on purpose?
It's funny.
Tom Collins, too. Thomas Collins. Tom Collins.
That's a drink, isn't it?
Steve Warren, former Atati.
Oh, I never heard of him before.
I said Atati. I was like, wait a minute, there was a word jumble. Attorney Otter, former Otter Creek attorney, rather. There I go. Zim. We have the mother of LMNOP, the sister of LMNOP, daughter of LMNOP, daughter of LMNOP, son-in-law of LMNO, son-in-law of, and a note with that, LMNOP. And again, I'm not going to go through all these. It's just a bunch. It's a bunch of people, you know, but it's a lot of folks. So they claim that this has attorney-client privilege attached to it. They don't spell out why, though, of course. Which
I would like to point out, though, that all of this could have been easily avoided if Lynette and John had taken that cease and desist letter seriously. They would not have to be going through their email looking for all of these very, what they're calling burdensome requests. Because when you get yourself tied up in litigation, you're now required to do these annoying and burdensome things.
Yep.
So that's unfortunate, but boy, they could have avoided all of this by stopping when they were asked to stop.
What? Good advice? Are you kidding me? Taking good.
Yeah, I know. It's rough.
So 4.
The squares are burning my eyeballs. Burning my eyeballs out. I can't believe I have to stare at these longer. I'm sorry.
I think it said that 12 of 20. So he went with what? 60% of these he's trying to say go with work product or attorney client. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? So 4.
So which one of those people, which one of the communications with those people were
you got to spell it out.
Attorney-client privilege? All of them? All of them? I know he thinks he had attorney-client privilege. He thinks he had some kind of privilege with Shara, but she's only one person in that list. Who are the rest?
How would that even work? You can't just say, hey, all of these people I pulled in here and had, that there were
that's
communications.
Crazy.
And it can't be communications between her and these people. You can't just say, oop, that somehow falls in. That doesn't even make sense. And if he's linked them into groups and stuff, I hate to break this to him, but his live stream preps, like for that August 15th, that is not protected. There's no way in hell that stuff is protected.
Nope.
So here's another one. All documents and communications concerning the steps you have taken to preserve documents and communications relevant to the lawsuit. So he says that
this is crazy to say that you can't answer this. This is very easy to answer. Well, I instructed my client to download her inbox and to search for the names that you asked for. And then, we saved them to a folder, we downloaded them, and we gave them to you. Or, I instructed my client to search her cell phone for these specific text messages. Why can't he answer this? It's not vague. It's not ambiguous.
That's ridiculous. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. He's just, again, not wanting to come off anything. Okay, number 7.
I have been involved in litigation before, and I've been involved in discovery where you are asked to provide emails. And it's not hard. You put in the little search box, you type the name of the person that they want the emails from, and then you go through them, and anything relevant to what is being litigated must be turned over. And in the case where I think what I did was I put them in a folder, and then I transferred that folder to my attorney.
Well, when he's mailing about this, when he filed about this, he was like, essentially saying, is somebody destroyed records on this? Like, that's what he's asking. Are you telling me? Like, here, for example, we were talking about the GPS stuff. Here was part of that filing he had. He said, finally, defendants, in response to request for production 13, responded there's no GPS records, da-da-da-da-da. We know that one. But unless the defendants have already exploited such records or disabled devices, such as the Uconnect or other black boxes, which are installed on their vehicle and or mobile devices, that response is likely false. At minimum, an inspection of the vehicle should be permitted.
Yep.
But yeah, here it is, 12 of 20. That's the number. He also, I've got to find that spot. He mentioned that that what they did turn. Oh, here it is. Got it. I thought this was really telling, just to note what he said was turned over. So on or about December 22nd, 2024, the defendant sent an email which included a link to just 3 files. 3 files. Those files are videos of text messages. They're not even
What?
actual documents.
Oh my goodness. Oh
Yeah,
my
you can,
goodness.
by the way, because that doesn't allow somebody to look at those to actually make sure that they're legit, that items are not
To
missing.
check the metadata.
Yeah.
Remember, okay, so we had this, the way that you get text messages, by the way, is to go to an expert. We did this, they did it in the Clayton Eckert v. Laura Owens case.
He's the same guy from the Herd stuff, you know?
Well, they were going to use him, but they ended up
Okay.
using somebody else. So Mike Maricini took his computer, which had his text messages on it, to a computer expert who then downloaded an entire copy of the laptop. And then what he did was he went through the text messages and got the relevant things, but he had a complete picture. And the expert himself could read the metadata and confirm that these things were sent from her phone to his phone on what date and with the metadata. That's what has to be done. In order to make it admissible, you have to do it that way. You can't just take a video of your it's absurd.
This is beyond ridiculous. Like there is no way that will be allowed. I mean, that is beyond absurdity. So let's see what the other ones
It's
are.
like they've never seen a court case ever before in their lives.
I think it's intentional. And I think like what that looks like is them trying to conceal information. Like that, again, like I titled this, and again, it's a question. You notice there's always a question mark on that. But they're trying to hide proof. I mean, that's what's being discussed here. Hey, like. What about the black box? Like that's got to be there. What about these text messages? So 7.
If you keep making me stare at these square bullet points, I'm getting trauma from this.
Look at this is supposed to be attorney-client privilege. Like, listen to this one here. Documents and communications sufficient to identify all usernames, handles, aliases, and other identifiers you have ever used on social media to publish information about the plaintiff. How in the world would that be?
They'll never turn that over. If they turn that over, it's case closed. All of John's puppets, some guy named Bob, he said he used, because they sent them, I believe that there were puppets used to send themselves certain threats.
Oh yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
But if they're using, again,
not that some internet weirdo didn't also send something, but I think that there was some padding done. That's my opinion. I think there probably were puppets used.
Well, they definitely admitted in that one communication video that we saw with Shara. He's talking about using a sock puppet account.
Yeah, right. He admitted to doing that in a message.
But how is this protected? Like, that's my question. How in the world does that fall under work product privilege or attorney-client privilege?
Oh, geez. Did he instruct them to use puppets?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
did he use? But why would you say that was privilege?
Like, that brings up some very
serious
questions. Yeah.
That's really weird. Really weird.
Like that would be one. Oh. And he only did it again. He only did that when we say he went in and used just your boilerplate. Okay, I hear you. Except he only put that excuse on 60% of them. So why that specific one again? I would really like an answer to that. Number 9, all engagement letters. And we actually discussed this one before, but this is the engagement letters again. Okay. Claimed it on that one. Let me see. Again, I'm going by Randy's filing here, but I am checking them in the notation underneath just to make sure too. Number 10. That's why I keep going in and highlighting with your wonderful square bullet points that you love so much.
Yeah, look at them. I'm averting my eyes on purpose because it fills me with rage. I don't know why I hate it so much.
Did you say zoom in on them? I'm
You ass. Stop
Instructions unclear.
I'm going to have nightmares tonight about with
You'll
dancing
be chased
square
by a
bullet
bunch of
points.
square bullet points. People get firing square bullets at you. You're like, no, take me out with circular ones.
How can you call something a bullet point that is a square?
Yeah.
How? It doesn't make any sense.
So
I'm
all
very
documents.
upset about this.
It's not real.
It's not. Wait, where's my button?
It's like it's a foreign knockoff.
The fucker back there is not real.
Oh God! I want Bruce put under oath to answer questions about these square bullet points. That's what I want.
Hilarious.
I have questions. They deserve answers. And I think that the federal judge will agree with me. I think he will also say that this is the most hideous assault on our eyeballs that we have ever seen in any document.
Does not compute.
Stop doing this to people.
This is what causes AI to rebel against us. This right here. This will cause Skynet.
This is why you get. This is how you get Skynet. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Oh Lord. Yeah, Skynet is like humans. They're the problem.
They're obviously the problem. Look what
it's going to come up in the next Terminator movie.
Look what they do to formatting. Why can't they just use normal bullet points? This is unacceptable.
So number 10, all documents and communications upon which you plan to rely to assert the existence of any privilege. So he's like, hey, what documents are you going to? Again, you've got to at least make this accessible by the judge. And they're like, well, I can't say that I'm going to do that because it's attorney-client privilege. You have to at least make it where somebody can review that.
These are the ones upon which you plan, you, Bruce, to rely on to assert the existence of any privilege. Well, how can you say that that's what?
It's privilege to say that I'm going to use it for privilege.
Wait, it's privilege. Wait, let me get this straight. The documents that you use to assert the privilege, those are privileged too?
Everything, Megan.
Everything is privileged, according to this guy.
Oh, Lord. Okay, let's see. Number 12. Let me find number 12. And again, yep, there's the attorney-client privilege. So mobile phone records, sufficient to show all phone numbers and providers you use between. So here is the mobile phone record. So he did note that. I just forgot that. So he did ask that. That's good. Good, Randy. I'm glad you asked that. So you did. And that's what I was saying. How many phone numbers? So all phone numbers and providers and all documents, including mobile phone billing records, showing the calls you made or received between January 2021 to date relating to the plaintiff. How in the world is this attorney-client privilege? It's just asking for what were your phone numbers that you were utilizing at that time, and what are the phone what
and the billing records,
records, and calls. It won't show any.
Is that privileged?
Maybe
you can redact. You can redact any phone calls from, between the two of you. I mean,
even then, it doesn't say that it's anything about the information. It just
it's just
a phone call.
That there was a phone call. I mean, he's trying to cover something up.
That's what it feels like. It feels like a snow job here.
Mm-hmm.
So number 16. Let me make sure 16. That's correct. Yep. There's the statement, by the way. So. All documents used by you for the purposes of refreshing the recollection of any witness prior to testifying at any hearing, depo, or trial. That's going to be, so the documents you're referring to, you're telling me that there are documents that you're utilizing to tell your clients, essentially, oh, this is what you refer back to. That would be known as evidence, by the way. That wouldn't be attorney-client privilege.
Yeah, that wouldn't be privileged because anything that you would use. So it's you're allowed to show a witness a document that's in evidence to. Well, sometimes it doesn't necessarily get shown to the jury, right? It might just be a piece of evidence the judge allows you to use to refresh the witness's memory.
They'll they'll have to have arguments, discussion.
Mhm.
You know, again, if you want to keep specific items out, then that
Right.
becomes its own thing. But if they're relying on this stuff, that does start to make it a pertinent piece of evidence. I mean,
Well,
if
and
you're
of
going to,
course, you have to share it with
yeah.
opposing counsel. They have
So
to
that's
know what you're using as your evidence or anything that you're showing your witness prior to testifying and what they're going to be testifying about. You have
also, if
to.
you're creating documents or anything like that to help them remember, I mean, that stuff, you can't do that.
You can't do
As
that.
counsel, you can't,
You
that
can't
is
do
a
that.
big no-no.
But you could, let's say it's a CPS worker. I've seen this a million times. So a CPS worker is being deposed, and the opposing attorney will say, okay, I want you to remember this particular family and this report that you wrote. And on this date, you wrote this statement. And then he'll repeat the statement. And do you remember saying that? Do you remember writing that? And if they hesitate, he might say, would you like me to show you this report?
Yeah.
So I
We
can
see that all the
refresh your
time.
recollection.
Yeah.
And then they'll say, yes, please. And then they take a look at it and they read through it. Now they're not allowed to read from it, but they read through it. And then he'll say, okay, now that you've read it, do you remember why you made that statement, why you wrote that down? And then they answer. There's no reason why that type of thing should be kept out. Those reports or whatever, let's say that CPS report, would have been used as evidence, marked as evidence in the case.
Anything that's utilized for it, anything prior to testifying, that has to be disclosed. You can't just play the game of, yeah, well, I'm just going to show it to my folks. No. This one, number 18. Let me make sure I didn't skip anything. Yep, that's right. 18. They say all documents, evidence, and communications related to your investigation of any claim referenced in a lawsuit. If there's something in there, like if he's saying that he's reached out and they're hiring people, then he needs to make the case for that specific document. He can note and he can give a brief summary of what that is and let the judge decide on whether or not that comes in.
I mean, now this one, I'm going to say,
it could possibly be.
This one's a little vague.
I don't
really understand what this one is asking for. So I'm going to say I would like some clarification on all documents, evidence, and communications related to your investigation of any claim referenced in this lawsuit. Well, what kind of investigation would he be doing? Like, could he get more specific? He could probably be more specific with this one.
They could have communications about that. I think, again, there could be certain items that if
this is the first one.
Yeah, this is one I'm like, okay.
I'm like, I don't really understand.
Well, not just that. I think there would be documents that would come up in this that could potentially be. But again, there is a process to that. You can't just say this question right here, it all falls under. No, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make an argument. Now, if he wants specificity, okay, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll agree that this could be more specific. This is the first one that I
first one out of everything.
So yeah, but I'm going to be honest. I think that one could be more specific. I'm trying to look at it from the other counsel's point of view. If someone is asking me for that, I might not know exactly what that's for. So I'm going to ask for more clarification on 18. All right. So one out of all of these so far, I'm like, okay.
One out of, I think we're at, that would be, what number are we on? So that'd be 1 of 10. So 10%.
Okay,
so
great.
Making it 10% one time. So number 19, all documents relating to the plaintiff that you obtain from any source other than the plaintiff. Okay. That right there, again, I think that's definitely anything that's being...
I understand that completely.
Yeah. It's very, they're like, oh, that's overly broad. No. Well, no, you understand that. This, stuff like this would actually really flesh out the ecosystem.
Uh-huh.
It would. And it would also, on top of that, communications back and forth with people they're trying to recruit. He also needs to understand something else. When he's out here trying to recruit people and he's stamping privileged on it and just sending it out to random ass whomever, you can't do that. But on top of it,
random YouTubers and random journalists, like, come on.
What Shara said, that he went out and he took the that letter and he stamped it, but then he removed the stamp and gave it to the PR and the other ecosystem members.
Mm-hmm.
You can't play that game. He gave it away. So there's not even an argument to it. I also wonder how many things that you're going to claim are privileged actually were passed off to places like the PR team.
Huh.
You know, I wonder if you get into those communications, I think would be ones that you definitely want to see. Because I bet you there's a lot of items that they're now screaming privilege that they discussed in text or something.
And these cases are won or lost based on discovery, by the way. Most cases are.
Oh, yeah.
Discovery is huge. I mean, look, and nobody likes discovery. Do you think Johnny Depp liked having his text messages read in court in front of the world?
Actually, that was a screw up. That was a discovery screw up. So what happened with all of that? Yeah. So that links to the UK trial. So the team that they had in place then, this tells you how little that case had, by the way. So you saw the worst of the worst. And when you're looking at some of those texts, you think, how did that get into the trial at all? Like, that has no pertinence to it. Well, what happened in the UK trial, the team that he had dumped every text message that he had ever had for 10 years. They dumped everything on the other team. They give him that's everything.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was a screw up and a half, but it did make it something that they could utilize, because otherwise, there's communications between like a friend, where he's making a joke about this or that had no relevance whatsoever. That would have never popped up in a trial.
But they were able to do it. Yeah. That's too bad, because I'm sure that was embarrassing and stuff. And look, nobody likes discovery. It's not fun for anyone to have to turn over your private emails, private text messages. We get that, but that's part of litigation. It is part of it. When you end up in litigation, you're gonna have to do some of these things.
That's why I also minimize my communications with people, because if they're like, "Oh, that umbrella guy, turn over all communications with blah 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 blah," well, that's going to be very, very limited, as far as the case may be.
I do most of my communication on the phone.
Yes, I communicate a lot on the phone if I need to.
Investigations, etc. I receive, obviously I get documents and stuff, but I also am good about, I clear out stuff. I have to. My inbox is way too full. It's always screaming at me, "You're 85% full." So I just delete.
I got beyond that. I had to actually pick up the extra, that per month. I get so many emails that if I'm off for like a week or so, I end up with an extra 5% of my inbox full.
I have a little system where, like, things that I can't delete, I star, things that I absolutely have to have. And then everything else just has to go.
Yeah.
And because I'm not going to pay endless amounts for storage because I get too many emails. It would cost me a fortune.
Yeah, it does. Like, it's part of this. That's what I don't think a lot of people understand, the amount of cost on the other end, just for, I keep up a Dropbox, for example, for this. That's just to keep up with all the documentation. We've been at it. There's cost, and that's not a Dropbox for other people to communicate with. That's just for me to keep the documents related to this, screenshots and more. Oh man, by the way, if you ever want to see some of those, I would be more than happy to show them. They would never want to see that. If I got a request, I'll be like, "Hell to the yes." Yeah, BBB, you want to see everything that I've saved off of this regarding your communications and your insanity? Oh, yes.
I have plenty of that. Oh, we do. I definitely saved all of his communications. Yes. Those I starred. You better believe it. I downloaded them. I put them in a file. Yeah. That's what I do with the stuff I want to keep. I make sure I download it and put it in the file. And if anybody wants to ask me for those, I'm happy to turn them over, because boy, do they tell a story?
They do indeed. And then you have your number 20. This would be the last one there. All documents in the files of your attorney in this lawsuit dated before the date this complaint was filed. So anything that was dated before that was filed with the court relating to the plaintiff, including without limitation communications. Now, if he's going to say again that is attorney-client privilege, he has to go in and he has to make a brief synopsis of what's there. So that gets into some. I think there would be things in there that would be definitely protected, but
Sure.
also discovery is casting a wide net because you don't know everything that's out there.
Well, I think it's funny that the critics are saying, "Oh, this is a fishing expedition." All discovery is a fishing expedition. Yes. That's not a bad thing.
Well, and some of the stuff, here's the thing, though, before they just dismiss it all, they know some of the stuff, including items that they probably don't know. Remember, they have a little problem. It's a, let's call it a mole problem. And that mole problem, where they don't know who's a mole in their team, who knows what that mole has actually made available out there. So before they dismiss everything and don't want to turn over, they decide to limit certain items. If that's out in the public, they decide not to turn it over. People know about that. That's going to be bad. So
the chat just reminded me too that Lynette was caught on camera in her deposition deleting things.
That's true. That is actually true.
And she admitted to deleting it.
Yes, I remember that with the little tablet thing.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, and you've said this too, I think that deposition has become very relevant going back because they are definitely going to refer to some of the stuff that happened in there. She locked in a specific narrative, but beyond that, she did certain things that, yeah, she got caught doing things that you're not supposed to. Any other judge that would have been involved in that would have had a real problem. If a judge found you deleting evidence in front of a lawyer, you think about how serious this is. But not the grudge judge.
No, he was too focused on how much he hated Jeremy and his lawyers to pay attention to what actually happened in that deposition.
Now, that hits all of those. Again, I think there's more discussion to be had on this, but having this discussion here, I mean, that's 2 hours of discussion just getting to that point. I think that shows you what Randy has been saying. And again, you have to question, are they hiding evidence? Are they hiding proof? What exactly is happening here? I guess we're going to have a little telephonic conference. I don't think that's going to go anywhere. Just honestly, I think Bruce is going to try to stick to it. I think that Randy might go in. He would be happy to clarify. Here's another question though. How could you trust Bruce not to lie about stuff? Like you said, recording wise. He's lied about all these people lie. They lie a lot. And if again, they have a problem with me saying that, we could get into some proof about that. We've seen some crazy spin and just some overt lies. So I would want a record of what happens in those communications.
It's going to be interesting. I am. I'll hang out for a little bit and then probably take off, but I'll stay for a little bit.
We got to 94 today.
Wow.
6 out of 100. That is crazy. Thank you, folks, by the way.
It's awesome.
Subi Sue. Man, Subi Sue. Glad to see you, by the way. Subi Sue's been around for a while. Thank you for the membership.
I love Subi Sue's name.
I do too.
I like saying it. It's fun to say, Subi Sue.
It sticks in my mind too. Mm-hmm. Certain really creative names stick to me. Or when I butcher your name and it's a common name, that sticks to me. Like Rio Raya, I mean, that just sticks with me. Those are good people there. But beyond that, that whole butchering, it was hilarious. She was like, you've been saying my name wrong forever. And I was like, well, which way was I saying? I don't remember. So I just started saying it both ways. So Subi Sue, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for your membership. Welcome to Text Thugs. Thank you. I appreciate you. Blah. Blah. I love it. Thank you for the gifted membership there. Thank you. Love those. Appreciate that. Lolly, thanks for the 9 months. Hi, Tuggy Wuggy. Tuggy Wuggy. And the Tunster, what does that say? Tunster?
Bug and
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Bug
So
and
it's
lug,
everybody.
probably.
It's everybody there. They're saying bug, lug. They always make me smile also to Megan and your little foxies too.
Oh, thank you very much, Lolly.
I appreciate your Lolly there. My bad too. Man, when I read stuff, sometimes I'm like, man, am I reading that right? AI is terrible. In new phones, especially. They added AI. Man, some of the stuff I messaged to people, I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't say that. What does that say? SF, thanks for the 5 there. Guess who's back? Back again. Yeah. Guess who's back? Back again. Megan's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? I love it.
I'm back.
AJ Stone dropped 10 gifted memberships. Man, thank you, AJ.
Awesome.
Good to see you. Another person. Love you. Been around a while. Thank you. Blah. Also, thank you for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tug's Thugs. Loving the name. That'll stick with me, for example. Wendy. Also, Wendy. Man, like I said, I know all of you folks there. Love it that I know everyone there. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Appreciate that. Actually, I just noticed that outside of things, there had been a couple of things that were sent as well. So I believe, let's see, there's 1, 2, just give me 1 second. Okay, there was a PayPal from CS. Thank you for 10 there. Keep up the good work, y'all. Thank you. I also say CM again. That's for for when I hear 2 L's, I think of 2 losers. Yes, that's exactly it. That's where that one's going there too. And there's someone that said their message is, don't say my name. Okay. Thank you for the 2 there too. So man, like I said, we're only like 5 off of 100. That's crazy. 100 freaking super chats. Awesome, folks. Thank you. Cynic and Cheap, thanks for the 2. Power and Heat is back. Nothing was damaged. Good, man. Good. We have forecast for Friday. I don't know what'll happen, but they're talking 4 inches of snow.
We had huge snow here. Huge.
Yeah, but
snow has been epic here.
Somebody messaged me that I knew. It was like, did you ever think that people would be complaining about 4 and 3 inches being too much? I was like, what in the world are you saying to me? Like that?
I'm thrilled about it because that means that all the ski mountains are open and business is booming and people are making money, and that's always good.
I don't need a ski mountain outside of my house, though.
I've got one right behind me, and they've had a rough couple of years the last couple of years because we didn't have enough snow.
Tennessee. Like this will shut down Tennessee.
Oh, I know, but you people are nuts that you don't have salt trucks and don't know how to deal with it. Anywhere where it snows at least once a year, you should have a couple of salt trucks. And
it used to
silly.
Not. Like we used to get it sporadically, and it kept that. We had that big snow last year, and then this year they're calling for another one. So maybe we're getting back into that. When I was younger, we had years that stacked up, but then for a while it became nothing again. Who knows? Christine,
I laugh at your snow problems. We're like, bring it on. We've got an economy to run here. We have a ski economy here. We need the mountains to be.
Well, I would send it all. We would pack it up and mail it to you.
And we would gladly take it. We love it when it snows. We're all about it.
When my channel was smaller, like back when we're starting out, somebody there was a service that would send you a snowball. Like they guarantee you'd get a snowball. So somebody from, I can't remember the country, they sent a snowball. They were like, since you don't get snow. Christine, thanks for the 5 there. My daughter is in labor with my second grandson. Hey, congratulations there. Congratulations right now in labor. Grammy cannot wait to meet him. Well, congratulations to you and your family. That's awesome. As a grandparent, that's got to be especially awesome too.
Yeah, that's incredible. Congratulations.
Cynthia dropped 5 gifted memberships there. Thank you very much, Cynthia. Appreciate that. Like I said, I love gifted memberships. Makes everybody part of that.
Yeah. Oh, and there's my favorite Christmas tree. I love it, Wendy.
Oh, Christmas tree.
So pretty.
Thanks for the 5. How did Tug Mod in chats? Yes, love to the mods, love to chat, love to everyone. Pine Scum Posse is ready for action. Indeed. Thank you. Sarah, thanks for the 2. Megan, we missed you. So glad you're back.
Thank you.
And again, make sure you show up tomorrow. Tomorrow, Megan's channel. Big deal. Got to be there.
It's going to be good.
Cynic and Chief, thanks for the 5 there. When I see the goat fall down the slide, it reminds me of Goose or Dingus making a file in social media. Yeah, I mean, that is true.
Very true. Every time I see that, I crack up. I laugh out loud every time. And I know it's coming, but the feigning to the slide is so funny.
Today, we're going to be reviewing a filing by BBB.
Oh, why is that so funny? Every time it gets me. Every time.
Feigning goats are hilarious anyway. Somebody got really offended by that one time. They were like, "Are you making fun of neurological conditions?" It's like, it's a feigning goat.
It's a feigning goat. Come on, that's funny. That's funny.
One of my neighbors had those, and they would get up, and they were hilarious because they would get up on swings on their porch, and they would be swinging back and forth, and every now and then they just pass out and fall off. I mean, it was just funny to watch. And the goat afterwards would stand back up and be like, "What happened?" and get back up there. Yeah.
I mean, I also feel sorry for the goat, but also I laugh. I can't help it. You know, it's proof that God has a sense of humor, that he made such a thing as fainting goats. It's so just funny.
Wendy also said, "Hey, Megan is back." Indeed. Thank you for that too. Fallen Hero also. 25 months, Fallen Hero. Thank you, my friend. Welcome back, Megan.
Thank you, Fallen Hero. Appreciate that.
Cynic in Chief, now with Power and Heat. Thank you for the gifted membership as well. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Spin Doctor, thanks for the 5. Was about it to put Megan on a milk carton.
You know what's funny about that? You know what's funny about that is that no matter how many times you tell people Megan's going to be on vacation, Megan's not going to be here. She's got family visiting. She's not going to be here. She's going to be on vacation. No matter how many times, I cannot tell you how many messages I've gotten. Are you okay? Where are you?
You know why? Because you never stick to that stuff. Because you're like me. Like when it gets to that, you're like, hey, I'm going to pop in real quick. You know? But you actually stuck with the time off, and people are like, what's happening? Has she disappeared? Was she kidnapped by aliens? What's happening?
Yeah, I just didn't have any time, and I just had to I had to just log off.
Somebody needs to actually put like a picture of the derailleur on the side of a milk carton, though. I think that would be good for you as a profile picture.
It's funny. I missed you guys too. I did.
Oh, look at that one. Megan's computer died. Megan's computer didn't die.
Perfect.
Oh, love it. Thank you, Allie. Jinx, thanks for the super chat there. Let's get our mug shot for the 9s.
That's funny.
Wheezy Wills, what's up, Wheezy? I hope you're doing good, by the way. Hope everybody in your family's doing good too. Thanks for the 10 there. Tuglet, candy money. Thank
Very
you.
important investment there. Very important.
Yes, indeed.
It will absolutely go to candy money for sure.
Yeah.
He spends so much money on gum for these kids. It's incredible.
Oh, Lord. I've never seen so much.
Taking them to candy shops. It's just, it's giving them this wonderful childhood. Thank you for helping out with that. It's fun.
I love that we have an old school candy shop in the middle of town.
I love those.
Yeah. I mean, it's straight. I love going up there, and the kids love going up there. Oh my Lord.
My grandpa was a grocer, and he became he was a president of one of those big food companies at one point. And he was very critical of candy shops because he loved candy shops, and he used to have in his grocery store, he would have like a section like that with the candy that comes in bulk. So I will never forget him taking me to a candy shop. We were like in some tourist place on the way to Arizona, and he was walking around just criticizing it all. He's like, "That's stale. I don't like this. And no, this is wrong." And I was in heaven. I remember just being in heaven in this place. Like everything to me looked amazing. And I was like, why are you so upset? Why are you criticizing this? But he was like, these are all stale. They're not fresh. he was a perfectionist like that. He was a candy perfectionist.
That's hilarious. I like this one too. Green Veggie Beast. Thanks for it. It was like, hey Tuck, how you doing? Who's this Megan weirdo?
You've already forgot. See, that's the thing about the internet. It feels like
Yes.
it feels like you've known each other forever, and it's only been a few weeks, and then you're gone 1 week. No one remembers you. It's just you're gone. You don't exist anymore.
David, thanks for the 3 months. They are now claiming that y'all spin everything if you don't agree with the narrative. Pot calling the black. Well, I bring up screenshots for everything. I show you everything, and you make up your own mind. I definitely have my opinion on things, but it's fascinating that everything is quote unquote spin.
Yeah,
it's easy to be.
Is it spin or is it my opinion? Because that's really all I'm doing here. And also, I don't have a problem with people who disagree with me. My motto on my channel is make Americans friends again. Because I think people who disagree on things can be very good friends and respect one another, regardless of whether they agree that this case should go Jeremy's way or this case should go Lynette's way. I am perfectly open to any of you who think that this case should go the other way. As long as you're going to be respectful and we can have a conversation and not be trying to, dox each other's family members and crap like that, and dragging kids into it and stuff, I'm happy to do that.
Man, speaking of kids, my oldest here has made a mask, so the character that she's been making is paper.
It's V from Dandy's World.
So they're paper. So she's made
that's cool.
An entire, but it's not a mask. It's like an entire head for it.
Oh my gosh! You should take a picture of that. I want to see it.
What else to do with my creativity?
That's amazing. I'm gonna take.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna show. Keep that on real quick. I'll show Megalodonis.
Okay,
Are you ready?
Yeah.
She's also got the pose down, right?
I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. This is going to be great. I love how creative kids get with paper and tape and scissors.
Take the picture.
I did.
My kids do it too. My kids love doing that. My 10-year-old also loves to play with scissors and tape and paper. And it's cool. It's really cool to do that. Very creative. I was listening to your show, and when she was working on it, was it last night or the night before? And I meant to ask you, like, how's it going? Because it sounded like it was really cool coming along.
There, I sent you a picture.
Okay.
Let's wait. Maybe that didn't. Well,
I don't think it went through yet.
Yeah, it's setting. Give me a second. I'll send it again. Give me 1 second. It locked there. Here we go. I'll send it to you. There we go. Yeah,
I can't wait to see it.
Check that one out, though.
Oh my gosh.
That's
amazing. So fun.
Oh, yeah. She makes it like an entire...
It's an entire mask.
Yeah. It's the head and everything. All made out of paper.
Oh, it's
She's made it with paper, scissors, and some tape.
I love her t-shirt, too.
Yeah. Notice the thing she's holding in her hand? That's a tail.
A tail?
Yeah. It's got a tail. She even
Oh,
made
it sure does.
Yeah.
I didn't see the green thing. I just saw the circle, but now I see the tail.
I'll do some redaction and show people that. I just, I try to be very careful with the kiddos. But I do want people to see
love that t-shirt she's wearing too. It's so cool.
A little plague doctor.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love the plague doctor mask. It's fun.
Writer chick. She says, welcome back, Megan. It's great to see you guys back together, even though Tug cheated on you.
Oh, I saw that. Yes, I was very disappointed. I was very upset.
Know. What a monster. How dare I? Jumping on the groovy cash train. Choo choo. Just make the haters mad. Stay warm.
That's right. That's
awesome
right.
There. And on top of that, dropped a gifted membership too. Thank you for that. Appreciate you.
I like the haters just like my coffee, extra mad and bitter.
Yep, extra mad and bitter. Actually, there's a song that says, I like my coffee black just like my metal. And I was like, that's cool. So that's what I went off of.
I love it.
Dan Davis, 4 months. 4 months already. Wow, I know this stuff. Time flies when a case is crazy. Chris, thanks for the 5 there. Welcome back, Megan and Breadstick Monies.
Breadstick Money.
I missed that too. Getting my breadstick on the shout out. Little B, thank you for that $3 super sticker there.
No.
Of course, I'm going to have a raid from Little
I
because
made-
Big raided. Oh,
I
you
made a
one too?
microphone.
You made a microphone?
Mhm.
That's cool.
I try my best on this.
That is very
Aw.
cool.
I sing a song.
Oh, you singing in there too?
Cute.
That's so cute.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
it's paper though.
sing that. What did you? Was your song so cute? Is that what you were singing?
Yeah, so cute.
Okay, sing so cute real quick. Let's hear
So cute.
it. It's awesome, baby.
So cute.
All right, well,
I'll try my best. And you take this tape off and make it a half microphone.
oh my goodness! So it's
Get your
portable, huh?
butt back up here.
All right, well, can play.
Master
Oh my gosh! She said her sister said, "Get your butt up here." And she said, "Yes, ma'am, master."
Oh, that's funny.
All right, here we go. Subi Sue. Also, thanks for 28 months. Thank you. Loved you and love, period. Indeed. Thank you. That's awesome. Appreciate you. That's awesome. 28 months. Wow. Weezy Wills, thanks for the 5 there. Yay for insomnia. I get to watch live from England again. I know. People are tuning in at like 3 a.m. That's crazy. That's awesome. Yeah. To Paul, thanks for the 5. The 2 C's in BBB act like they can convince you Jeremy isn't nice and give LP a pass and he doesn't deserve to be treated like a human being. Yeah, that's actually what we see in every case. We see character assassination. It's, well, look at the way that he reacts to all these horrible things that are being done to him. He's a monster. And it's like, wait a minute, how do you react to horrible things being done? Are we supposed to be nice?
Yeah.
Aussie Wombat, thanks for the 5.
I really don't like tone police. I call them the
No.
tone police. And so it doesn't matter how right you are about whatever the thing is. If they don't like your tone, suddenly you're in the wrong. And I'm not someone who's I'm not a tone police person. In fact, I've written an entire book about that. So if you want to know if I really think that or if I'm just making it up, go back and read this book that I wrote years ago. And there's chapters in Shut Up, the Bizarre War that one public library waged against the First Amendment. There are entire chapters about the tone police and how I think that's a massive problem in society where if your tone is wrong, even if you're 100% right, there's a faction of people who will turn on you.
Well, imagine that your kid, whom you are very upset about, like everything that's gone on there, your kid, Jeremy's talked about, has problems. Problems these people don't care about at all. They drag him onto streams and they barrage him because they want any kind of dirt that will hurt Jeremy. Like, how is he supposed to respond to that? Is he supposed to respond in a nice, loving tone? I mean, that's
that's the thing. And also, being a person myself who sometimes has a harsh tone because I get passionate about things, I am solidly in the corner of tone matters much less than truth.
Yes, that 100%. Also, I mean, just to be honest, there will always be something where people can be like, look, you're guilty of. There will be something. It doesn't matter. You can be the nicest, jolliest person, They'll be like, oh, you sound happy, but, oh, there's something in your tone saying it's too snarky. There would be something there.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
All right, let's see. Aussie Wombat, 5 months there. Nice to have. It's so nice to have Monk again. We missed you, Megan. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
I know we had the before. This is your first 2025 appearance. Appearing from the future. John, thanks for the tip. The fleas in BBB have no reason to be in this, but to get content rather for their failing channel. Now, since Jeremy dropped an Adam, indeed, he dropped that on them. They're victims now. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh, look. You know who the real victims are? Probably the people that got you in trouble with the law. That would probably be who the real victims are. Just saying. Bonnie, thanks for the fun there. Defense is only 3 people saw the signs. What difference is it 3 or 300? It's not. It's not. That's the thing.
Yeah, there is no difference.
And it's the allegations in them. You know, you think about what they are. They're not just going and saying like he's a terrible businessman or something, or oh man, never let him into politics, or he's a terrible neighbor. No, they accused him of the worst things socially you can. I hear that slinky.
Oh, I hear that slinky. I hear it.
It's still out there though. BBB was begging for lawyers today. Oh, so he's asking for lawyers now? Still?
Yeah, I have a. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. I'm yawning. I have a timestamp on it. I guess I haven't listened to it yet, but yeah.
Lord, man, that's so ridiculous.
He wants more lawyers in different states. He wants to sue a bunch more people, probably us included. And I mean, who knows? I don't.
I'm going to sue you, Bruce. You do this. You've been pushing for lawyers and everything else while you sit on shows and defame everyone. You sue me, I'm going to sue the fuck out of you. I just straight that market, because when it comes through and when you actually suffer the consequences of going out and you are recruiting, you've recruited anyone, like you've gone out, you make contact with a lawyer that you now say is one of the worst ever to go after Megan Fox. You admitted that in a letter for Dave. You wanted to compare notes because you were trying to find something to attack with. So, yeah. You may be able to go after small channels and threaten him, but fuck that. I mean,
he's also complaining about Dave, too. He was complaining about Dave Neal today, saying Dave should be ashamed of himself because he's, backing me just because he's my friend. And it's like, no. I mean, Dave... I can tell you this. If Dave decided he wanted to dig into this case, there's no possible way that Dave would come to a different conclusion, because he's a smart guy. He knows how to read things. He knows what to look at. And also, you're not going to find many people on YouTube who don't understand what YouTube is about. People with successful channels like Dave.
Well, how dare you not take this random person that wrote Word versus Megan Fox? How dare you?
Yeah, Dave and I basically have worked together for the last year on the Eckerd v. Owens case. I think he knows me pretty well. He also knows the way I work. He knows the how I research things, and we've worked together. It's a trust that we have because he knows how I work. That doesn't mean that he wouldn't, if he decided to go into, and I don't know if he's going to, he probably isn't. He has too much else to do. But that doesn't mean that if he researched it on his own that he would come to some different conclusion. No way. There's no way. And he's trying to make that case because, he's managed to find somebody to claim stupidity.
Ooh, man.
He's managed to find somebody in the woodwork, who claims to know me. But yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
Me of that Tropic Thunder thing. You mean there's somebody who claims to know me or to be close to me? That's what, they're like, somebody close to you said blah, 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 blah. Tropic Thunder, he's like, somebody claims to be close to me.
Yeah, that's a stretch. It's a stretch,
But hey, again, it proves though that this isn't about the thing. It's about silencing everyone. Unfortunately, BBB told everybody to cover this thing too. He told everybody and their mother, and he continues to go on a channel any channel, but people that they don't talk one or two times. They've talked hundreds of times about this, and he goes on there repeatedly. In fact, he was picking up information to go after people behind the scenes. Like, if they plan on dragging in a lawyer, we know who that comes from. That will come from him. So he better buckle up for that shit, and don't dismiss DUI guy thinking that he's just going to sit on his hands and let you roll with this stuff. They're also dismissing, he's looking at the very real possibility of being added to federal litigation because of the shit that he has pulled already. On top of that, he was in trouble with the bar. He's looking at that. People have written the bar complaining about going after jobs and more. Yeah. Cynic in chief, though. So we have a professional squatter and a deuce.
Don't forget the scam artist, because
Squatting and a deuce, though. That's gross.
Yeah, squatter and a deuce.
Paula, thanks for the deuce. Shar posted on Facebook today. It's great. Oh yes, I'm gonna make sure everything is up there, and we will talk about it in probably a couple of days. Tomorrow sounds like it's got its hand with it. There's a lot for tomorrow.
There's a
already.
lot.
But
yeah,
after
and we
that,
do need to get back to the deposition at some point too.
Yes. Yep.
And we will do that. I promise. I'm sorry. I have to catch up here. I know it's been a lot.
Well, you have life obligations.
Yep.
The posts, though, from what I saw there, are really good. Thank you all, too. Anything comes up like that, people do notify me, and I appreciate that for sure. So, George, thanks for the 5 there. Love you, Tug and Megan. Hey, love return, my friend. Thank you.
I love you, too. And on that note, I'm going to jump. I will see you guys tomorrow.
Jump high.
Those of you who are waiting on me to pick up the part 2 of Jeff's Legal Vices retro trial, tomorrow was going to be the day, tomorrow morning, that I was going to pick that back up. However, I've had a last minute schedule change, and I have an appointment now in the morning that I must go to. So I am planning on doing that on Friday morning instead. So Friday morning, I will be doing the Legal Vices retro trial catch up, and tomorrow night will be on my channel, and you will not want to miss it, because we will do a Rumble exclusive. And when it goes to Rumble, it gets spicy. Spicy.
Fun time.
All right, I'm out of here.
Have a good one. See ya. JR, Butter, Lucky, Deanna, thanks for the 5 there. Screenshot that David said that he supports any page that reports JH. That's nuts, by the way. Kiddo, what you got there? Oh, hey, ask Sissy to make those. Or are you gonna eat them like that? Okay, well, take them.
I ate one a night.
Okay.
I ate one a night.
Okay, so they're prepped. You're good to go. Okay.
Oh, I found a flexion cookie on the floor.
All right. Well, you can have that after live stream. I'll let you have that one. Okay. I'll bring it to you afterwards. All right. Thank you.
Come to my room, because I'm going to be in my room.
Okay. You go to your room, little ma'am. I appreciate you.
I almost don't
Love
like
you.
the live stream.
I will be. I'm reading super chat. I can finish if everybody's not down here. Okay. I'll be able to finish faster. All right. Yeah. All right. Hey, go upstairs though. Okay. Love you.
I'll be in my room.
Okay. All right. I will definitely see you there. Love you. Okay. Close my door. She brought a waffle. Well, she actually had a waffle with her. One of her quote unquote dancing waffles they had made. She was carrying it. She was like, and she offered me a waffle. That's what it was. It's like, yeah, I don't want a waffle. I also don't want a waffle people are carrying around, but thank you. But yes, so I have a screenshot that David said that he supports any channel that reports shade. Send that over. I want to see what you're talking about. That's wild. My email address, by the way, is 2 words. Granular, like a grain of sand, GRA. Let me start over. I was reading something someone said. I was like, whoa. All right. Let's start that again. Granular heaven. GRANULAR. That's granular. Grain of sand. Heaven, as in heaven, HEAVEN @gmail.com. 2 words shoved together. Send it over if you want to. Or you can message it at @ThatUmbrella on Twitter. Thank you. George, thanks for the 5. Does Shara have a membership sign-up page? I actually don't know. I don't know if her channel has actually been monetized or anything, or if she's done anything. I think she should, but I don't know. I don't know if she's actually mentioned that at all. John, thanks for the 10. What's up, John, by the way? Megan's avatar looking like Rocket tonight. Her avatar, oh man, she has the Begging Megan, and also, the derailer. I sometimes call it the disruptor too. I almost called it the disruptor. I like them though. They're funny. Wheezy Wills, thanks for 5. Don't mess up your F words, Megan. That can be dangerous. I know, man. Watch those F words. That was funny when she was like federal. Oh, wait. Felony. My bad. The F words. 2 high-flying farting walruses. Lovely there. Lovely name. Love it. Thanks for the gifted membership, by the way. Man, how do walruses fly high? Thank you. Alec, thanks for the 5. That was crying. I thought Chewbacca joined their scream. I can't even do a Chewbacca. That's funny. John thinks of the 10. LOL. When I was a kid, if we did something to each other, there were marks. Lawn darts were no jokes. I know, indeed. Actually, the kids, they were arguing earlier about hide and go seek and slinky time. They were like, one pushed me. She pushed me so she could have more slinky time. I was like, are you guys kidding me? That's so funny. But yeah, when I was a kid, man, some of the stuff we did, I'm like, compared to what, man? I'm glad my kids aren't doing that stuff. Patrick thinks of the 5. How easy is it to hide? Can 39 aliases make it easy? Can changing CPS jurisdictions make it easy? What happens when you're done using a kid for income? I wonder about the first part of that. 39 aliases, could that help? Potentially. You know, they will hire investigators, I'm sure, to go through everything and to see everything that can be pulled up. Like, that is standard for cases, period, but especially like something this big. Travis, thanks for the 2. I have an amputated left leg. That shit ain't funny, huh? Do you really? Do you have an amputated left leg for real? I did not know that, my friend. You know, that's wild. I have a when I worked at a junkyard at one time, I still have it. I have one of the old wooden hook hands, and we tried forever. I kept it because I kept trying to find the person that it belonged. I was like, "Do you want it?" We finally found the person. They were like, "I don't want that. I got a new one." But they were like, "I'd never use that thing. I never wanted that." So I don't know. It's just in my stuff still. That was always funny too. You get people like, they would be, let's say, participating in ye old ganja, and they would be looking for something to clip it with. You know, you sneak that in. Like, wait a minute. Oh man, I did not know that. Travis, you know, Mary, thanks for the 10. Do you think there will be a time when Bruce Manskin regrets joining forces with a hot mess group of people? I would think so. Yeah, I would think there would be. You know, it's not just, if he were just a lawyer and he were just doing lawyer things, that would be much different. But the things that he's done behind the scenes that we have screenshots of, the insanity we have screenshots of. The continued insanity, going after people's jobs and more. Yeah, there can be like real consequences, vexatious litigation, real consequences too. Like, this doesn't read like a case. It reads like a grudge match. It's nuts. John put in, I saw this earlier. Do you want to make a snowman? Indeed. Thank you. Orphan Kitty Rescue, thanks for the 2. We aren't all scammers. Oh no, for sure. You know, for every rescue out there, there are legit things that need to be done. It is appreciated, and we know that. One of the problems, though, and I hope people recognize this, when people run into scammers, it damages the confidence that folks have to try to help out. I would love a perfect world where we could trust that things that are said to be done will be done, but we are far from that so far. Suzanne, thanks for the 5 there. Milltown also received money from David. Yeah, the $500 super chat and 2 to 3 more PayPals. He stated to cry freaks. I tell you. Yeah, we saw that. Like I said, there was that screenshot. Let me pull that up, actually. And I thought that was interesting. You know, I didn't see this, but I saw the discussions over it, you know, where people were making screenshots here. Let me pull that back up. You had, you know, people were screenshotting because of this. You know, you have LP. At least I just want to tell you that John and I appreciate everything you've done for us, and I trust you. I trust you no matter what anyone else says. My heart's broken. But right under that, you had This is the same David that just gave $500 to Milltown's Best. He's a manipulator. He thinks he can buy a platform for $500. What a joke. I spent more on that than a great night out. Huh. So again, talking smack about somebody. If you had questions, again, I'm not running any kind of stuff like that. But if I were running an actual fundraiser, I would want there to be clarity for it. I would want there to be some kind of statement for where that money goes. Like, it makes sense. You have if money goes over what you're actually getting money for too, that should be clear. But there's no transparency whatsoever. And if that doesn't bother me, again, I don't know what to tell. After some of the stuff that's come out, I don't know what to tell some of these people, because you can tell. Like, they say they care about this or that. No. Badass Biz thinks it was in. Did the weakest guy receive a felony conviction? If so, he's associated himself with people that violate conditions of parole or probation, rather. Thoughts? If a person is on probation, again, there are specific elements of probation that are not allowed. 100% are not allowed. And that apparently there were questions too. I had some people asking me, because apparently there's some damage control going on, talking about the Fox 9 and Tug Lies. And that's really funny, because apparently people are being timed out for asking just simple questions on that stuff. Isn't that? That's been happening there. But you're asking about it. For felons, you're not allowed to be around people with firearms. You have issues with, again, alcohol or drugs. You also, if you've been arrested or convicted, you're on probation or parole, you're not allowed to associate with other known criminals, people that are involved in criminal activity. You are not allowed to be involved in that in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. So, Paisley Chicken, thanks for the 5 there. Shara mentioned 3,000, and so that she's been consistent about those two amounts. Yes, and she clarified the amount. Like, I wasn't sure about 300, 3,000, but that was clarified too. Thank you too. Appreciate that for sure. Paul, thanks for the 2 there. LP is the only one that's threatened her child. Well, we definitely, again, we heard what was on that recording with police. So they keep saying they're going to sue because of people noting that and again, I'm not telling people to contact anyone. In fact, I say the opposite: never contact. It doesn't help. But people noting concerns, what is that based on? They say that's bad neighbor, this or that. I mean, really, you would think that's kind of hit the rocks, right? Thanks for the 5. Not gonna lie, I didn't think Tug could read that fast if he tried. God damn, indeed. If I'm in a good mood, if I'm in a very, very good mood, I will speak a little bit faster. You can tell when I'm hyper, I mean, man's back. We're having fun. So my mood elevates today. And I think I can read a little bit and talk a little bit faster too. You'll notice that in my tone, which is really funny. John, thanks for the 10 there. Show us what you got. Gee, that brings back memories of me and the neighbor girl at the backyard fence. To be clear, she was the aggressor. I was shy. I was like 10. Whew, man. Yeah, those questions, that stuff. Yeah, I have back in the day. I remember those days. That terrifies me as a parent. I'm like, no, don't need any of that. Zohan, thanks for the 2 there. In Levy County, it is meth, not meth. Just saying. Hey, somebody sent me a screenshot, by the way. Actually, it was Max Lab sent a screenshot, and it was a very interesting one. And props to Max Lab, by the way. He's been sending documents and stuff. Again, there are many document collectors, but there was one specific thing. There was a headline. I need to go in and look at this. there's a video called "She Had My Full Trust. Levy County Sheriff Fires Financial Director. Criminal Investigation Underway." The Levy County Sheriff's Department has fired their financial director. This is what the person posted with this. Looks like the start of some investigation into some of Levy County Sheriff's office. Might find out what's more going on. Maybe the can of worms might just open up. But that's interesting, isn't it? Curious about that one. Made me think about it. Props again, Max. I appreciate you, buddy. Angela, thanks for the 28 months. Welcome back, Megan. Love talking on his own, but you together golden. Indeed, I agree. 28 months. I'm going to get a pick you jumper next week. I feel like I get my phone. It's awesome. And thank you. I appreciate you being here. All of that is awesome. Cindy, thanks for the 10. Dynamic duo. These people are such a scourge. I wonder how long they've been running all these scams. Glad it has all come to light. Yeah. Well, apparently, talking about this, apparently this becomes a cry session. Because apparently, when you go in and you ask simple questions about transparency, not transparency behind the scenes, which they say, oh, we showcase this to donors. It's supposed to be clear beforehand. You don't donate and then after the fact say, hey, I'm providing transparency to folks there. Again, you don't even have a stated goal number-wise. You don't know about membership. Where does that go? How does that work out there? Like, what is going to what? And how exactly do you decide that? Because with YouTube, like if you're talking about super chats alone, when those things come in, it's just all one thing. They're not divided. It's just all one. It's one item. And if they're using like a PayPal that has not been set up, it's just under a personal name. It's not set up for a specific thing. How could you tell if something was a donation to a channel versus a donation to something else? Like, how would you make this division? And there's no clarification. Is every dollar going that way? Some dollar? Is there a deal for division of money? If so, that's not being stated to the public. And again, they can whine and cry about that. And they'll get all these back pats about it. Oh, I've been doing great things. But again, if you gave me $100 toward a stated purpose and I spend $30, I could still say that I did that and take money from it. That is scamming. That is straight up fucking scamming. People will have problems. And when people ask for clarification, it has become this giant circus where folks have tried to destroy someone over it. That is not right. At best, that's a messed up situation where maybe that should wake up a few people. But at worst, you're talking about it's just a straight up scam. If they don't want to say it's a scam, well, then be clear right from front. We asked for transparency at the very beginning. What is this money? Where is it going? What is it for? How much? Say immediate needs. What does that mean? What are quote unquote immediate or emergency needs? What does that mean? Now they want to get donations for another lawyer. They said they're going to have they said that GoFundMe is not good. Mentioned an escrow account. Yeah, right. Yeah, of course, they're saying they're going to sue everybody that talked about this. Again, all of these things that coming up in court would not be good for any of these folks because it would look bad. It would look very bad. John, thanks for the 20 there. Don't get me started on kids and what they say at the end. I know that. I'm for sure. Mine like to say I'm Darth Vader because my wife is black and I turned to the dark side. They used to blurt that out in front of strangers with zero shame. Kids, man, they say the craziest, funniest, like most inappropriate stuff. And they get away with it because they're kids, thankfully. Oh, it's something else. Carol, thanks for the 5 there. What the hell's a lawyer? Better record phone call. Well, you got to be careful. You have to have stipulations on that because I do not. Well, actually, I know you're not supposed to be recording phone calls unless. So, yeah, I would definitely note my hesitation. I would ask a judge about that for sure, or note that I want that from the other lawyer. Yeah, thanks for the fun. They're texting here. Spencer's is full of dongs, like I checked. That's weird because remember the whole Texas 6 dildo thing for sure, no joke. Stick print paint. Thanks for the 10. Stop, damn it! The last Megan was on here, I ended up telling you about Tingly Lubricant, and we are going there again. The stream has changed. Oh my lord, that was wild. Like that was funny. Thank you, Stick Print Paint. Oh, Emma, thanks for the gifted membership too. Thank you, Emma. Appreciate you a lot. Thank you. Rio Raya. I'd like to apologize for Stick Print Paint. My husband is misbehaving again. Hopefully have some cocoa and go to the quiet room. Get in your quiet room, Stick Print. I loved you guys. I appreciate you too. That is hilarious. Oh, so, Sticky Widget, thanks for the 2. Love me a kinky slinky. Ooh, that would be weird. I've never seen one. If there really is, I wouldn't doubt that exists. Also, is a slinky a schmexual toy? No, I hope not. It sounds like something that could be very bad though. Man, back in the day, slinkies were really funny though. Walk those things down steps and compete with them. Then, yeah, I'm going to go on that rant about toys back when I was a kid. Ryan, thanks to Stick Print Paint. Go and sit down. Oh, love it. That's hilarious there. BC Eagle Deb, thanks for the 5 there. Hey, Tucket Megan, I hope you're having a good night. Good to hear from you. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate you too. Thank you. Stick Print Paint, thanks for the 5 there. Okay, Rhea Ra. I can smell my soldering iron burning anyway. Got to get to your room. Handle your business. Uh-oh. Hey, kiddo. I thought you were in your room hanging out. I'm getting closer. I'm reading through everything. You want that fortune cookie?
Yeah.
You know, here. You want
Can you open it?
Yes,
I don't want to make my fortune. What do I want my fortune going to be?
I don't know. You want to see what it is?
Yes.
Okay. There's a fortune cookie in here.
Let me open it. Crack
it. Yeah, of course you have to. You have to eat the fortune cookie too. Here, crack it in the middle. Yeah, there you go. Good job.
What's this?
Pull it out.
What's my fortune?
I don't know. Hold the fortune cookie. Hold it. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Your fortune is... The world will look a little better with some love given by you.
After you my fortune.
Yeah. All right. We'll take it. Yeah. Eat the fortune cookie. You don't eat the fortune, right?
Uh-huh.
That's what you meant. I know.
I love you.
Right. I love you. Go upstairs though. Enjoy it. It is right on bedtime, so better go enjoy yourself for a few minutes because you're going to bed in a few. Okay. Love you. Love you. Close the door. Close the door. Thank you. Let's Stick Print Paint, Sticky Widget. That was asked about what a slinky is only in Tijuana. Yeah, there's probably something in Tijuana. Who knows what the names are? Sir Walking Tree. Thanks for that. Both my wife and my ex-wife have the 23rd of March as birthdays. That's got to be odd. Well, at least you know what? Well, you know what's beautiful about that though? You don't have to change up remembering any type of holidays, birthday. That's actually very helpful, to be honest. You know, second verse, same as the first. Well, at least for that, you know what I mean. Yeah, that's kind of odd, but actually, again, that could be very helpful. Janie, thanks for the 2. When would the phone would be the phone that the police confiscated? You would think. Again, we don't know what all the phones are that have been picked up. We don't know if they're the same devices. They kept saying that there were other phones or other phone numbers. Remember in the deposition for the prior case, there was so much elusiveness. Anytime they would ask for proof about this or that, they would talk about, well, different device or different phone number. So that would be something you would definitely want to hammer down. Find out what exactly phone numbers were there. And Randy, I'm sure that's the thing when they say that asking questions is a fishing expedition. That's 100% false in its own way. Part of it is a fishing expedition because you want to know through discovery what all is out there. So you cast a wide net. But there are also questions that you want clarification for. And some of them, again, you may know the answers for. And if you do, Carol, thanks for the 5. She has a car payment. And so if she takes out the black box, her car won't work. The car company will GPS your car if you stop paying the car note. That's interesting. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, if you haven't paid it off, can you actually remove that? Will it keep up with when you removed it too? A lot of questions on that I'm curious about now. Deborah, thanks for the 5. Probation is not allowed to attend a party where other felons are present. That is a probation violation. Yes, you would have all kinds of problems with that. Indeed, you are 100% on that. Sue, thanks for the 10 months. Due to the job I had for 14 years, I had to stay away from childhood friends, could not be associated. It's not hard to be honest and transparent. That is indeed correct here. That is indeed correct. Also, when you get caught doing something, if you really want to make change, one of the things you tell people is you have to change everything. I'm not saying this for Sue Scott. I'm just saying, period. Like if you had a problem, whether you have issues or you get in trouble or whatever, one of the things you have to do is an environmental change. Environmental change doesn't mean moving away or anything. It means change your environment, change the people you're around and more. And sometimes jobs will also cause that. So, yeah. John, 20 gifted memberships there. Man, thank you for that. Appreciate that, John. I saw him fall in earlier. And then I started talking to man for a minute. I was like, man, they were still like, I looked up, looked at something, looked down, they were still falling out. That's crazy. That is crazy. Thank you there. And John noted, thanks for the 10. 20 gifted membership, that's $100. Yes, indeed. And that is huge. Thank you. I cashed in my credit card bonus at New Year's, got like $1,000. Gifting is basically free right now. Well, thank you for that, man. Like I say, I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you there. You make this thing, you make it work where it can be not just like before. It competed for time. The research level, it could be a certain level, but it had to drop off at a certain point. Now, go full bore and look at anything. And again, that is appreciated. Like I say, thank you, John. Sue, thanks for the 10 there. Milton did a community post about MG Law. Says he's terrified to go on YouTube or JH. MG is a good guy. Why the fuck he pulled out this out of this long ago? Nasty yeah. Didn't he quit? MG. Oh, so MG Law. They keep bringing up MG Law, and it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous weaponizing someone that has their own voice. They could talk about whatever. They'd been dealing with apparently some personal tragedy. It's so absurd. If they don't want to cover something, they can walk away from it. They don't have to. They can cover whatever they want. But from what I understood, they were dealing with personal tragedy. So, and it's just, you knew from that letter that they were going to try to weaponize him or whomever out there. It's absolute absurdity. KM, thanks for the 10 there. Welcome back, Fox. Yes, indeed. Welcome back, Megan. And again, make sure everybody is there tomorrow for sure. Sticky Widget, thanks for the 5 there. I use square points when I want to rile someone up. It would not let me type the old bullet. Weird. Yeah, they censor all kinds of weird stuff. So I'm actually not surprised. Anything with the old pew-pews, they like to censor. So I'm not surprised. Momo, whoa, thanks for the 10. I like that name, by the way. Deuce has said He doesn't have the time for this case. So that's probably why he responded the way he did that. He did. Typing a message in here. It's crazy. It's adding words and letters to what I typed. It's so frustrating. I know. Like some of the, especially long messages. Phones these days are wild on top of that. Again, you've got AI in your new phones. It's a mess. So yeah, thanks to from Minty and the Mother Tugger. Thank you. Appreciate that. Becky, thanks for the 2. Hard to send something that you dirty deleted. Indeed. John, thanks for the 10. When I was in boot camp in the Marines, we had a lot of guys with effed up nicknames. One dude was really black, and his last name was Heath. So the drill instructor called him Heath Bar. Yes, I'm not surprised by that, to be honest. I imagine with the Marine Corps, you're getting some crazy nicknames, and I would think appropriate, tone policing and everything else. I don't think that would apply there. I think I have another raid coming.
Let's show you a magic trick.
Magic?
He's gone.
Uh-huh. Okay.
He's gone.
Yeah.
And close your eyes.
Okay. Close my eye. Okay.
And look! He's back!
Whoa, dude. Well, you
and
better.
the digital toe is missing.
That is awesome.
My magic is
That is
very
crazy. Good. I love that magic trick. That is very good. Oh, just show me whatever toy is there. Hey, close the door, baby. Okay. Thank you. Sue. Just 1 second. Set it fire back up. Sue. I was like hitting the kill button for my screen. Thanks for the 10 there. I had to hire a forensic oversight agreed upon by the DOL, chain of custody. I'm not a boomer, not raised in the world of computers, but even I know how to delete. Indeed. I don't think they really know, when they're creating sock accounts and stuff, I don't think they were probably smart enough to really conceal their behavior either. I wonder if you looked at some of these accounts, if they're showcased, if there's questions about them, you could probably petition sites like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, wherever. You could probably petition and find out where they're coming from. That would be interesting. But of course, they don't want to come off of this. Oh, man. And we'll have to ask SF, how was her vacation? Actually, it was, she said that she was, it was good, but she was bored, and that's understandable. When you get into this and you do it all the time, you get bored. You get bored when it's not around for days. Ellie Fun, thanks for the 5 there. Thank you for entertaining me while I fold them out in the laundry. Miss Megan, I know, or Miss Mug, rather. Megan with tongue, yes, indeed. Thank you, Ellie Fun. Appreciate you. Cunning Lingus, thanks for the 2. I missed all the laughter with you 2 together. I know, man. I missed the cut up. It just adds this new freaking element there. So thanks for the 2 squares. I'm gonna have to send that to her. I'm gonna do that right now. Check this out. I'm gonna take a screenshot of it and I'm going to send it over to Megan. Give me 1 second here. I'm gonna tell her, didn't want you to miss out. Didn't want you to miss out. LOL. So I'm messaging this to her. There, I took a shot. It's not a screenshot, but I took a photo of it with my phone. Michelle Webster, CM, yesterday's vintage. Thanks for the 5 there. Didn't know the Clown University had a law school. Dark Side Harley Girl, thanks for the 5. BBB is from law offices of Dewey, Cheatham, and Hale. Oh man, that's funny. Really fun. Thanks for the there. Mug sounds funny at 2 times the speed. I'm sure. I'm sure. It makes me sound about right, but she's probably like this very quickly, you know. Mildred, thanks for the 2 there. Trooper Proctor equal. Amazing singular text. Trooper Proctor. Man, there's so many names, by the way. You notice. Patrick, thanks for the 2. So I remember Megan's chat, I use square bullet points. Yes, actually, you know, it'd be a fun thing since she's not here right now. Tomorrow, when people super chat, make sure you start all of your super chats with square bullet points. That would be amazing. Little squares in the chat. Make sure tomorrow you do that. That'll be funny. Because the squares, like you can put them in the chat, which is funny. But if you put them in the super chats, you have to read every one of them. Amy, thanks for the 2. Well, closer to 100. Much love to you all. Thank you. Yes, we crossed that threshold too. So thank you. Mistrust Lou, thanks for the 5. I fell asleep and woke up 5 minutes ago. All right. Glad to have you here. This will stay up so you can check it out. I'm going back to listen from the start. Woohoo! To the unique screen names. Love to talk about. Thank you. Appreciate you. You know, it's again here. So, Monica, thanks for the $2 super sticker on that. Thank you. Appreciate the super stickers. I love looking at those too. And especially in the aftermath, I can always look at them all. John, thanks for the 5. There was a service to remember Diala's story. Oh yeah, there were all kinds of back in the day. The 1-900 lines. You had you had the certain ones, but you had ones for everything. I mean, they even had. I remember they had one that when Freddy Krueger was big, you could call in and Freddy Krueger would talk to you. Now I never did because it cost money. I didn't have any money to spend. But I always wondered like what dialing up Freddy Krueger was supposed to be like at like $5 a minute. You know, I mean, what's that supposed to be? But they had one back then. I remember this. Wishful Wind, thanks for the 5 there. Every time I see the name Bubbles, I want to start singing. I'm forever blowing bubbles. Indeed. Sherry, thanks for the 10. The goat needs a hamster. If you know, you know, no. If you know, you know, no. But what if you just know? Alec Font, thanks for that. Megan derailed enough for me to catch up an hour behind on 2X. Yes, that is part of it. Well, we're both stream derailers, unfortunately, but when it gets together, we are definitely stream derailers. Cynic in Chief, thanks for the 2. I like my haters, like my coffee. Steaming and bitter. Yeah. Yep, indeed. Very steaming. I like that freaking song, the Godzilla one. Lily, thanks for the membership here. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for that membership. Welcome to Tugs Thugs. You are very appreciated. Thank you. Ellie Font, thanks for the 2 there. Don't use that tone with me, ma'am. Indeed. Kidding, for sure. Soldier Mom, thanks for the 2 months. Welcome back, Megan. Indeed. Like I said, everybody make sure you're there tomorrow on Megan's channel. We got to make sure the algo loves her. Yeah. Christina, thanks for the 10. I have 2 hearing issues, tone loss and CAPD, and I physically cannot differentiate tones well. That's interesting there, especially my own. So I've been accused of being sarcastic, rude, etc. when I'm just trying to state a fact. Man, my tone is the way I stop in things anyway. Sometimes, I mean, I can be a sarcastic asshole anyway, but just the way I speak, I get accused of being sarcastic. I'm like, no, man, that's just the way I was talking there. I know, I hear you, but that's interesting. So, you know, it could be something that people just don't understand is there. The tone policing thing is awful, though, because again, it's used after the fact to say that somebody is guilty of something. You know, therefore. A BC Eagle Dip, thanks for the 2 there. If BBB sues you, nail his sorry butt to the wall. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. He thinks he can go out, sue people in the name of, and nobody will sue him directly. And that's what's going to happen. People are going to sue him because he has sent out there repeatedly, talked about the reasons that he's done this. He's talked about his complaints with people, not covering his mac and cheese story, items like that. So for him to go out and recruit people in the name of it looks very much like him trying to be vindictive. That's the way also going to get hit with some monetary issues. Travis, thanks for the 10 here. Yeah, motorcycle accident, highway speeds with an 18-wheeler. That's awful, buddy. Going northbound, southbound lanes, no helmet, leathers, just plain clothes, a hoodie. When a handful of survivors of those speeds. Dude, that's awful. Man, I remember being younger too, and doing really crazy things. And I think back to, I'm glad nobody got hurt or anything else. I'm glad you're here though, dude. That's wild, man. That's wild. That's one of those things you can look back on and tell people. Again, you have some powerful testimonials and stuff where you're just your story, period, your life story sounds like it would be pretty powerful for people. Glad to have you, buddy. JR, Butter, Lucky, Diana, thanks for the 2. Tug, check your email for a screenshot of David. Let me see. Let's see if that came through. I don't see that one there. Give me a minute. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. That is crazy. Like people, again, I don't encourage people to flag channels. I don't encourage them to go after people and try to mess with them. But behind the scenes, we saw proof, absolute 100% verifiable proof that like Veteran Nation, his channel, there was targeting of. Amanda, thanks for the 10 months. We need a mug. That's what we need. We need a mug. That's what we need. Indeed. Gotta make one for sure. It's Slinky. Thanks. 5 there for an extra Slinky. Can never have too many. Indeed. All right. I think we're to the bottom of these. And thank you. Like I say, very much. I appreciate all of you that have been here. Still over 2K of you here for super chats. What we're going to do is we're going to redirect. I actually went much longer than I intended. Apologies for that, because I want to redirect you to Shizzy. So we're going to go raid Shizzy. Tell him Tug sent you. Yeah, like I said, Megan came back and there was a lot of stuff to talk about, but we'll send you over.